What up, fuckers? There, now you can actually listen to this at work. What's up? What's up? This is episode 26. Your brand Tom, coming at you fucking hot and loose. My mic arm is breaking. Yes, this is a really good one. This is my friend Peter, roomed with Mike in college. He's a good kid. Good kid. It was a really fun episode. I really enjoyed it. It'd be a perfect episode if I wasn't dying of cough. So I cough a bunch in this episode, which I tried to fix and tried to remove it as much as I can, but you know how it goes. Oh boy. Yeah, it was really good. It was really, really good. I hope to hear back from him more and do some stuff. I'm going to post all his creative endeavors that he has available down below, as long as I remember. Yeah, it was good times, good times. I had something I wanted to say. Did it matter? I guess it didn't, because I don't remember it at all. I was going to say something in this intro, and I don't remember what it was now. I'm now just repeating myself to drag this intro out. Yeah, I guess that's it. This is it. The episode. It's good times, good times. It's long, but you know. You should expect that from me at this point. Oh, that's what it was. Someone decided to start mowing the lawn somewhere real, I don't know, the endish like half hours. It's like fucking someone mowing the lawn. I don't know how to get rid of it. I tried, and it's like, I don't know. It's weird. It only works like, Audacity's like sound removal thing is like weird for me right now, and it's like half working and not all the time. It's super weird. I don't know what the fuck's going on, so I did what I could, people. I did what I could. But I'm sorry if that's annoying. And I'm sorry if my coughing is annoying, because it's a lot. But with that, enjoy. All right, so here we are. I don't remember what episode number this is, but here we're with my boy Peter and your handsome face.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
How you doing?
Hi, audience.
So, it's been a while since we actually sat down and talked to each other.
Yeah.
How have you been? We were just talking about you getting banned from League, which is delightful.
Yeah. I just got banned from League. There was some... Wait, can I swear on the show?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great. There was some stupid shit. Basically, do you want the story?
Yeah, sure. I actually don't know the full story. I just saw the fucking Snapchat you sent me.
Okay, so basically, I was in a game. It was a ranked game. I was doing poorly. I was playing AD carry. I was doing very poorly because I'm not good at AD carry. And
what position do you play mostly?
Anything except AD carry. And then I think I got auto-filled. And anyway, I'm doing terrible the entire game, and my entire team is just flaming me for it. Like, I'm saying nothing. I'm just trying to, like, okay, calm down. Don't do anything. Like, just play the game. You'll be fine, late game. So they're berating the shit out of me the entire time. I finally rolls on around to late game. I have my items done. And then last team fight, I get like a triple kill, carry the whole game, we win. And so in like this moment of just triumph, I'm just like, yeah, fuck you, Jarvan, who's the guy that's been flaming me the entire time. And then as a joke, he's like, all right, guys, report misfortune. And they actually did.
Oh, wow.
And so I tried to appeal it because it was just a meme, pretty much.
Yeah,
They're
right.
just trying to meme on me. And then I explain the situation. Riot responds and pulls up old chat logs of me just like swearing.
From like a long time ago?
From like months ago.
Oh, wow.
And we're just like, we can't have this kind of language. I don't know.
Wow, that's fucked right up.
So, like you were saying right before, like, if that's enough to get a ban, like...
Dude, some of the shit I have said in League of Legends, oh boy.
And like, the fact is, I've dropped 2,500 hours in this game and probably $100, if not more. And I mean, obviously there's people who dropped way more than that, but the fact that you're willing to like cut off the people who are actually still supporting you is just fucked.
I mean, I assume they're still the biggest game around, because I was on Twitch like a moment ago. They were the number one, but yeah. I think that's just I'm a cutie pie. He pulls 30k fucking viewers.
Jesus.
By himself. Sometimes he'll be the top. It's like him and Shroud are the two people who are like single-handedly just carry Twitch sometimes. Yeah. So fucking crazy.
I do like cutie pie. I don't really watch streams that much, but I do enjoy cutie pie. So.
I don't usually watch like individual streams. I'll watch like events, like I was watching Dota and stuff like that, or I'll watch like Counter-Strike or the Home Story Cup's on right now. But like, nice. I don't normally watch just like a person generally.
Yeah. Feel that?
I don't know, but well, so since you've been banned, what have you been playing? So you're playing Ninja Gaiden Sigma yesterday.
Yeah.
What is that?
What's Ninja Gaiden?
No, Ninja Gaiden Sigma. I don't know which one that is.
It's Ninja Gaiden Black, but it's the PS3 for it.
Oh,
That's all it is.
Was Black is only on Xbox 360 originally?
Yeah, or I think the original Xbox. I can't say Xbox One anymore. It's really annoying.
I hate that so much.
Yeah, it's Ninja Gaiden Black, but just on PS3. That's all it is. They just were like, let's give it a different name because fuck you.
Because I was like, what does he play?
Yeah.
Is it the super hard one that everyone talks about?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's funny. I was going through the first couple levels, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm getting the hang of this. Like, maybe this isn't so hard after all, or maybe I'm just good at it. And then, like, chapter 4, I think, rolls around, and then all of a sudden, there are just these enemies that just kick my shit in every time. Like, it just went from 0 to 100 in terms of difficulty spike like that, and I am just fucked. And oh my god. So, I guess I'm just gonna have to get good. I've
never played any of the new Ninja Gaidens.
That's the only one I've played, actually. Apparently, I didn't even realize there were NES games.
Yeah, I had played that one originally.
Shoot. Yeah.
And like that was back in the day where all you really had was the cartridge picture.
Yeah.
And it's just a ninja like walking towards the camera with a city exploding behind him. And I was like, this is the coolest game of all time. And so we used to play it all the time. But it was hard. No. I could beat the first boss back then. And I retried it recently, and I just was like, how did I do this like a 4-year-old?
Oh my god.
I'm getting my dick stomped.
The exact same thing happened to me. Like the Crash Bandicoot remaster.
Yeah, that came out.
Oh my god. Like, I'm playing through this, and I'm like, how the fuck did I do this as like a 8-year-old? Like, I eventually did it, but like, I was still amazed. I was like, wow, I was good at this. Holy shit.
Apparently, this version changes his model to an oval instead of a square. So it's making your spin attacks a lot harder to hit.
Oh, because I also heard something about the hitbox in terms of landing.
Oh, okay.
For some reason.
Oh, I think it's you slide more or something. You roll off of things or something.
I don't remember.
Because I have heard that too. That like they did like several small changes. Mostly, I think because they're not on polygons or they're not on as big polygons, so not as much like giant squares. It's more everything's circular now.
Yeah.
And so just making that graphical change, they changed the hitboxes to like represent that, making it like harder because you have to. You're not using the same muscle memory.
Because, like, for example, all the... did you play it at all?
I have never played Crash in my life. Actually, that's not true. I have played the most Crash in Uncharted 4.
Okay.
That is the most Crash Bandicoot I've ever played in my life.
That's funny. Yeah, I remember playing that. I was like, oh, we're doing this now. Okay, that's fine.
It was so weird because that was, like, the first real moment of gameplay in Uncharted 4. Was playing Crash
you're right.
Bandicoot.
Oh my god.
You're playing another game. That's the first time you actually really get to do anything in Uncharted 4.
Oh my god, I think you're right.
Which I loved. I hate most of the Uncharted games, but Uncharted 4 I thought was fantastic.
I enjoyed them. Like,
don't you have most of them platinumed?
Yeah. I have all of them platinumed.
You're disgusting. You're
I know,
so
I'm
good.
fucking
it's
terrible.
So nasty.
No, I don't have Uncharted 4 yet. Yeah, you know how everyone has like a random hidden talent?
Yeah.
Mine is apparently Uncharted multiplayer.
Really?
So Uncharted 4 multiplayer, I'm like gold ranked.
Really?
So
that's so
don't want to
sick.
brag or anything. No, because I remember it was like 2009 when I got my PS3, and I was at GameStop, and then I was like, what do I get? And the clerk was like, oh yeah, Uncharted 2, man, like it feels like you're right in a movie. I was like, okay, that sounds cool. Like 13 or whatever age I was. What is it? 2009? 8 years ago. Oh my god, it's 8 years ago.
That's so weird.
So yeah, 15-year-old me was like, wow, I get to be in a movie. That sounds awesome. And so obviously now it's like kind of shitty that everything is just a cinematic movie. But like Uncharted 2, to be fair, is just it's like the good part of that. It's like you get to be right in the middle of the action of a movie, but you're not just watching a movie.
Right.
So it's got to be a balance. That's what most people I feel like don't understand.
I thought Uncharted 2 of the original 3 was the best of those 3.
Yeah, definitely.
3 was a real disappointment.
3 tried to capture the magic and did not.
It kind of just goes nowhere. Yeah. And then like I didn't care about the villain. I barely knew who he was.
No.
And then like the whole thing that we were trying to stop, it was just like...
Right. It was like, there's some water in the drains and it's gonna kill you and make you go crazy or something. We don't really know.
Yeah, it was like none of the magic part of it was established enough for when that happened in the very first game. Spoilers for all of Uncharted.
Oh yeah, spoilers.
The very first one with as soon as the fucking gremlins came out, I was like, what happened in this game? When did this change? I guess we're just fucking fighting monsters now.
But fun fact, I think that was actually that came out before Call of Duty World at War, so technically that was the first Nazi zombies.
Oh, no shit.
Technically.
I think you're right.
I think I looked it up at one point and I was just like, wow, they predicted this shit. Because they're technically zombies that got corrupted by whatever.
The Nazis, yeah. That was good point.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool though. Like I've seen it for the first time. Like are there monsters in this game?
Yeah, right. We were just like, okay, we're doing this.
We were super grounded in reality, even though Nathan Drake just killing mass amounts of racially ambiguous terrorists.
It's good. I had one of those exact same moments yesterday. Actually, I'm a huge like noob when it comes to anime, but I started watching Gurren Lagann.
Oh, good start.
And
it's a good entry point.
It's like I think the first or second episode. Did you see it already?
Yeah.
Okay. The first or second episode where Simone was just like, I'm gonna power this thing through my willpower now, and then it works. And then the drill pops out. Spoilers, by the way. The drill pops out, and he like launches this entire fucking gun through the entire roof. Of the yeah. I was just like, what? Is this happening now? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, Gurren Lagann is so much of just what a normal person would think, what a Chad would think fucking anime is.
I did love Kill la Kill though, so I was like,
Kill la Kill's the same, same group.
It's the same, just like fucking over the top.
Yeah,
just I love it though. Like
your pure drive is what gets you to fucking get the thing done. Yeah,
I love like people who are self-aware of everything. So parody of just like anime bullshit is just really funny to me.
It's really really fun.
But yeah, I know it's like super entry level and shit, and that's fine.
It's so good though.
I don't care.
Like yeah, it's just everyone should just see Gurren Lagann. It's so good that like it's if you're not like into anime and then you're like, oh, I'll try this. Like it's such a good like if you can, it's almost like a litmus test. Like if you can handle this shit, your anime's for you because like it's gonna be a lot of fun, a lot of ridiculousness. But like if you stick with it and you're like, this is fucking jiving with me, it's fucking. I sat through the first half. Like right up to the time skip, I went and all that in like one sitting. I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. It was so fucking exciting.
I'm at episode 5 right now.
Okay.
And then actually, I just watched 10 episodes of Evangelion last night for the first time.
Oh, you've never watched Evangelion either?
I never watched Evangelion. I told you I'm a huge fucking noob.
That's all right, man. It's all right. So, welcome to the club.
Thank you.
You're safe here.
It's like one of those things that I've always been meaning to watch. The thing is, all of my free time just goes to video games. And so I have this huge backlog of like, TV, movies, all the shit. And like, did you watch Stranger Things? Oh, did you watch Breaking Bad? Like I haven't watched Breaking Bad yet. Like I'm fucking 5 years behind on my backlog. But I was at the Saratoga Comic-Con yesterday and there's this guy that had like all these like figurines and statues and shit. And I saw this one of Asuka, and part of me was just like, I really want to buy this because I love the aesthetics of it, even though I'm pretty sure Asuka's a terrible person in the show, based on what I've seen.
I don't know. Some people will kill you for saying that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pick favorites right now because I'm only at episode 10 and I haven't fully gotten to choose. Personality wise, even personality wise, I can't pick because Ray is a little bit too like robotic for me. I don't know.
I'm a big fan
if there was
the
like
older
right
chick.
In the middle, just
I forget her name, but the older chick.
Misoto?
Misoto, yeah. All about her.
That's fair. Okay.
That's
a good like non-answer.
I'm part of that church. she's even though it does such a good job of like going through like the psychological like facets of these characters and like what might drive them to do what they do and why they act certain ways. Yeah. It's apparently Ono did it to like kind of represent what was going on internally for him. So it was like he was having a lot of depression, a lot of shit going on like internally, and so Evangelion is like a story about people that happen to be in a world of giant robots. So it's not like when you first start, you're like, oh, it's a mecha anime, cool, but really it's more about like
it's like actually the human condition, but there's also mechs involved.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's like Shinji's issues with his father, and like so it's like all that shit, and like how that applies, like his issues with his father, and like the only way he can really get his father to like even interact with him is by getting in the robot, and it's like so it's very cool how like everyone, and then like at the nearest the end, you start to see everyone gets like their moment to shine, and you get to see like everything about them. The last 2 episodes, they ran out of budget, so it's going to be dramatically different. Just going to warn you now.
Great.
I love the last 2 episodes because for me, I'm more about the people, not the robot and the greater world story. If you want that, there's a movie, End of Evangelion, which we'll do, which was where once that took off, they're like, oh, we got money again. Let's do the real world ending. So they do that. So
got it. Yeah, all I know about End of Eva. Sorry, all I know about End of Eva is that there's the first scene where, spoilers, Shinji just like jerks off on Asuka or something, like in her hospital room. That's all I know about it.
Oh yeah, there's something to that. Yeah, you'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
It's quite the ride.
Art reflects life, so if you catch my drift.
Oh, I do.
Oh man. But yeah, what else?
Have you been on this Destiny 2 train?
No, I didn't even play Destiny 1 yet.
I didn't either, but Destiny 2 is on PC. It's a fucking nightmare. Hey.
It's a nightmare?
It's great. It's a good, well-designed game. I just hate playing it. Like, I get why everyone was like, I hate this game, but I can't stop playing it.
Okay.
Because it's just so... The fucking, like, grind is just so perfect. It's like you get your number up a little bit, and then more gear starts dropping to get that number up a little bit. It's just like, all right. It's like a little trickle of just pure drugs.
How they get you.
Heroin.
The only thing I've read about Destiny 2, I've like completely avoided it, as not like on purpose, but like I just
if you're not involved, it's really hard to even run into it.
All I know about it is that I keep seeing these pop-ups and ads for like Kotaku or whatever, or Polygon, I can't remember who it was, but they released an article that was like, people are running out of things to do with Destiny 2. Here's why it's a good thing. I was like, this is the most clickbait fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. But like, I don't know, man. Fucking Kotaku, I can't do it. Also, okay, I hate to segue, but the fact that the article entitled "The Review of Resident Evil 7 Based on a YouTube Let's Play,"
it's gross.
That is a real title, and that's a real article, and that exists, and I hate it.
See, I also hate it, but where we are in like our modern day, the trajectory of people playing games, in quotes, is going to be more people just watching someone do a Let's Play.
I know, I hate it.
I was talking to Ange, Mike's girlfriend, and she was like, my favorite game is Bayonetta. I watched Peter play it. And I was like, I can't... like... If that's how you want to enjoy the game, sure, I guess. But for me, it's so foreign. Like to say my favorite game is blank because I watched someone else play it is weird.
Like, I don't know. Just for Ange, I kind of get it, like in her particular case, because...
it's a foreign world to her.
Right. Like, she didn't really grow up with it, and it's kind of weird for her. Or like Brian, for example. You know Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just never really grew up with it, so he was always, like, not very good at video games.
Mm-hmm.
And so then he would room with me, and then he would just kind of lean over my shoulder and start watching. But, like, if he wanted to play something for himself, he's just like, I don't get it, I don't feel comfortable, like, this isn't enjoyable for me, I'd rather just watch you. So I get that, but, like, I don't know. Unless you have something like that, where it's just, you're fucking garbage and you can't do it yourself, or you have no idea what to do, then... I'm personally a fan of just playing it yourself, because I like, on principle, I don't really watch like streamers or anything, just because, or like Let's Plays, just because I'm like, I'd rather play this myself and just enjoy the thing for me, because it's like, I don't know, it's not like the full experience.
No, I get you. Like, for me, a lot of that like e-celebrity YouTube crowd thing is the people. It's not the game. Like, I don't give a shit if they're playing anything. They could be playing fucking solitaire. I would rather be... I'm going to be there because that person entertains me. I like them. I like to hear what they have to say about certain things.
That's fair. Because, like, I don't know. It's a tough spot because I... Like Game Grumps, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I love Ego Raptor.
I'm a big fan of Ego Raptor.
Just because I've been watching him since, like, Nom. Since Newgrounds. And so I have a soft spot in my heart for him, but like aside from that, it's just I don't know. The only other exception I think would probably be like gameplay videos, because if there's something where I don't like, if a game's coming out, for example, usually e-celebrities reviewers will all get review copies early,
right?
And so they'll usually post like, oh, here's a 10-minute gameplay video of whatever game. And then you could watch that and just kind of get like a general sense of like how you enjoy the gameplay, and you can picture yourself in their shoes. Then that's really helpful for me. And that's what I kind of use in my decision-making purchase. So, yeah, I purchase decision-making process. There we go. And that's pretty helpful. And then like reviews come out like a week early, so you still have a week of time, but then you can be like, oh, I'm going to pre-order it now, even though it's a week earlier. And still get the bonus. That's what I
haven't listened to a game review in forever.
It's mostly just exactly what I do. My process is exactly that. Like I'll see if I can find a gameplay video early. Maybe if it's like a teaser or something, or like a TGS, like sneak peek or whatever, and I'll kind of see if I vibe with it, if you will.
Right. Yep.
And then go from there. And then, but yeah, I really can't trust game reviews anymore.
The last time I was like really into reviews was X-Play on G4.
Oh my god! Don't talk about G4, man.
I just love breaking my heart. It was so great. Oh
my god, I miss him.
I miss that whole thing so much.
Fuck.
It was the best. It was the. And like I was listening to this months ago, but Kevin Pereira used to do a podcast, and he would have people from G4 on.
Yeah.
And he was like, every time he'd be on, he'd be like, "Remember when I was saying we should put this online, and like this should live online? This should be an online show." And they like, he was like, but like the people, it was right in that transition of like TV bigwigs, and then like what we are now, where people are like, oh, the internet's a thing. So like they were old school meeting with like these people who were like, no, this is what the new direction should be, and they were like, no, we have the money, we decide. So they were on TV, but like it was still great, fucking everything.
I miss Kevin. Fuck.
I miss all of them. Fucking Morgan Webb, Adam Sessler. Like I will follow them to the end of the earth. No. Like I love all four of them.
Making me sad, man. Shit.
Even though Olivia Munn is like taken off and is like a real thing, and every once in a while I see her like in a movie, I'm like, oh my god,
it's Olivia Munn.
It's Olivia Munn.
No, but dude, just game reviews in general these days. Like, what gets me the most, aside from the Resident Evil 7 thing, that kills me. But what was it? I think it was IGN, and it was the new Crash Bandicoot actually, and it says right at the end of the review, this guy who's reviewing it, I can't remember his name. This guy beat about half of the game. Like he didn't even fucking finish the thing. And he's already putting out this review, and he gave it like a 6. Like,
that's weird.
At least fucking finish the goddamn thing.
That's weird.
Oh my god.
It's weird that like, because I remember in G4 that they would on X-Play they would talk about like this game is clearly ridiculously long.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go. This is how much we got. We'll talk about it. And actually, do you ever watch Zero Punctuation?
Oh, I haven't actually. That's one of those things.
Oh, okay. He doesn't finish anything because he's just a bitter old man. So like he'll play through a game. He's like I forget which one it was. It was like Final Fantasy 15 or something. And he was like, so I got to the point until they were having me plant farm shit. And I was like, all right, this is JRPG. I'm done. Like
I'm done.
He's like, I know where this is going. So like he does. But he'll like never finish anything. Like, but he doesn't give scores though. Like his review show is him just being like, I'm gonna make fun of this thing, or I'm gonna praise this thing.
I don't know. Sometimes it's appropriate. I don't know, because I guess for Crash, it's kind of, you can understand it just because it's pretty much the same thing for 3 games. But
is Crash like something that's like real near and dear to your heart?
I mean, nostalgia purposes, yeah. But I don't know.
Because I never like grew up with it. I grew up with a PlayStation. For some reason, avoided Crash 100%.
That's fair. I just played my friends across the street. My mom was on the video games there for the Satanic Children board.
Oh, really?
So I also never got to play D&D as a kid, so I went to my friend's house to do it. The same friend who lives across the street, I also played Halo, Grand Theft Auto, the whole thing. His parents just did not give a fuck.
Parents cool as fuck.
Parents are cool as fuck.
That's some fucking dope-ass parenting.
And then, of course, you have my mom, the complete opposite of the spectrum. But I didn't say anything. It was great.
No, you fucking
good time.
Don't ask permission, ask for forgiveness.
That's right.
Don't fucking fuck with that shit. Man, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because, we had...
Where's going with that?
I don't know. We had fucking... My parents... We're not a huge fan of video games. As you can tell by my stag. I disagree. But...
this is your rebelling against your parents.
Yeah, I mean, we got like a PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 and stuff. That's because like my cousins also were getting them. So they're like, oh, there's a chance for them to like trade games and stuff like that. So we would fuck around with that shit. But, nice. It was quite the youth. Pokemon was 100%. It was weird. They would be like, no PlayStation, but for some reason Game Boys were on the table.
Yeah.
So I think
I also got that for some reason.
Yeah.
Because I think I had Pokemon Blue, and that was fine for some reason.
Yeah.
Game Boy Color games were fine. But then eventually, I can't remember what it was. I think my mom might have actually at one point like realized like, oh, Pokemon, like before the entire realization that PETA finally got to like 3 years ago, was she was like, oh, it's about animals fighting. That's not healthy and that's violent. And so she was upset for a while, but oh my god, she's hard to please. I think eventually she just gave up.
No, I remember that.
Just like,
yeah, because that's how I felt too. Yeah,
I think it was like 13, and no, maybe it was like 11 or 12. I just remember that for one of my birthdays, she bought me the Animal Crossing GameCube game.
Oh my god!
And like I knew it. She like I was like, this is the or I was gonna say, this is the gateway drug.
Yeah.
It's her first time. She's like giving in. She's like, okay, I've accepted that he plays video games. Here's Animal Crossing. This is the most harmless thing I could have fucking find at the store. And I still have it. I love it, by the way. But, yeah. And then eventually, just it kept going on. Got a PS2 for my 13th birthday, I think.
Fire.
That was great. But
I have like a clear memory of like thinking to myself. My mom was like, all right, I'm gonna go up out of the house for a little bit. You can't play the PlayStation while I'm gone. I was like, okay. But I had my Game Boy in my hands, and she didn't say anything. And I was like, is this one okay? And I remember just being like, I guess Game Boys are different. So like,
loophole.
Yeah.
Right.
So like, I would just continue doing that, and so like, eventually it was like, I remember like she'd be like, we had to ask to go play the PlayStation, and then eventually it was just like, I just whenever I want, just jump on. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's not that bad. Okay.
No.
But
and
sent me down this nightmarish path.
This rabbit hole, slippery slope.
It's been a fun time. I enjoy video games.
It's fun, right?
Video games are good.
Actually, reminded me of Ange.
Mm-hmm.
I just playing Bayonetta for the first time. I had no idea what I was in for. Did you play it yet?
I've never played Manga.
Okay, you should, first of all. And
I enjoyed that company's early work. Platinum when they were Clover, back when they worked for Capcom. And they did
Okami?
Beautiful Joe, Okami, and God Hand.
Okay, yeah.
God Hand's really good. It's on PS3. You can buy it, I think. PS2, PS4. Okay. It's a PS2 game, but I think they've released on PSN. Yeah, I don't remember which one, but you can get it on PSN.
Got it.
It's really good.
But yeah, Bayonetta, Metal Gear Rising.
Metal Gear Rising's really good.
Oh my god.
Has nothing to do with Metal Gear.
No, but it's so fucking fun. And I like all I want to be is a fucking cyborg ninja who can slice anything in half,
true.
And it's amazing. But Bayonetta, I had no idea what I was getting into.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, like, I played Metal Gear Rising before that, so I was like, okay, obviously they go way over the top and do some ridiculous bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I was not prepared for how fucking ridiculous this bullshit was. And you should have seen Ange. Oh my god. Like, I was just like, oh, okay, this is happening now. And Ange is just like, what is going on? There's like gods and demons and shit and like fucking 10-story. It's just nuts. You should have seen Ange's face. Jesus Christ. But I think that was actually, there was a point over the summer where I was a summer RA at school. And then between the summer RA or the summer semester and then the fall semester, there was like 2 weeks. And so I asked Reslife, I was like, hey, can I just like move into my new housing so I don't have to like move all my shit and then come back in 2 weeks? Like, yeah, fine. So I was in the townhouse. So I just had the townhouse like to myself for like 2 weeks. No one else there on campus. And Ange had just moved into the apartment in Albany. And so she was the only one. I think Mike was on the road trip as well.
Oh, okay.
With Taylor.
Yep.
And I was just like, yo, Ange, do you want to hang out? She's like, okay. And then we did. And then I said, yo, you have anything to do tomorrow? She said, nope. I said, you want a drink? She's like, okay. Repeat for like 3 days. Wake up in the next morning, hungover as fuck, turn on the PS3, played Bayonetta. She would just watch and just be like, okay, this is happening. This is ridiculous. But it was good times.
That is pretty cool.
I don't know where I was going with that, but
it's on PC now, so I think I'm going to pick that up.
Yeah, definitely worth it.
Because I have a PS3. It's not here right now. I lent it to someone, but I would like to play a lot of those, like...
action games?
Yeah, I've only played a few. Yeah. Like Rising and like God Hand would be enough. So like, I have all of, at least... I have Okami over there too. Actually, yeah, I organized it by developer, so...
Nice.
Yeah, so like, it's... or publisher. So it's Capcom's right there. So like, yeah, I have Devil May Cry 3, I think, and then Okami and God Hand, which I want to get to. So
I also got the Devil May Cry collection. I haven't played those yet.
Talking to the thing.
Sorry. I also got the Devil May Cry collection. I haven't played that yet, but I got to do that.
Yeah, I want to do that too, actually, because I want to play the third one, but I'm a crazy person. I have to play all of them.
If you're one of those.
Yeah, I have
of those.
Yeah, I have to play. I'm so bad. I want to play the Witcher series.
Yeah.
I can't until I read the books.
Oh my god. No, Tom.
I'm on the second book.
Dude, I'm like the exact opposite. I'm just like, okay, well, 9 times out of 10, the latest in the series is probably the best, right?
Okay, yeah.
Except for when it's like Devil May Cry when they did the reboot shit. It was apparently terrible. So, because you hear enough opinions on the internet about it, how bad it is, that you just avoid it. But Witcher 3 was a perfect example. Like, I wanted to make an attempt, so I was like, okay, I want to buy Witcher 2 on PC and play that before I buy this. And my computer's garbage, so it couldn't even run that. It could 5 FPS, but I was just like, all right, fuck it, I'm just gonna play Witcher 3. It's gonna be fine. I did, and it's wonderful, and you should play it.
I want to play
because
it looks real good. It looks real good.
You can't let it. You can't. Doing that to yourself.
It's crazy too. Is that I know how the books end.
How?
He dies, and when Witcher 1 starts, he's being carted off as a dead body, and he wakes up.
Geralt does.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
So, in the books, Geralt's story's done. And then the games pick up where those like, oh no, he actually survived. This is where he goes from here.
Oh.
So the author of the books mostly says this because he sold the rights and now is not making any money. Right. Is like, fuck the games. Games are horrible. All video games are cancer. Damn. But it's because he sold the rights to CD Projekt Red and was just like, whatever. Video games are a fad. He's an old, cranky old man.
Jesus Christ.
And so now that these have taken off, he's like, oh, fuck video games. This is awful. They're not canon. It's like, all right, man, calm down.
God, that sucks, man. Shoot.
Happens.
God. Can't even deal with canon. just hearing the word canon just like makes you think of Star Wars, and I've been
falling off Star Wars real hard lately.
Yeah?
I'm just not feeling it anymore.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they're going off in these different directions, and like, you know, they're doing these spin-off movies, and then the things I actually thought were cool are now not canon, and that's
right. Like, I don't even care about these new, like, the new movies are fine. Like, they're okay, right?
Rogue One didn't really do it for me, but whatever.
They're okay. I don't even have a problem with that. But the fact that Disney can come in and just be like, yeah, all this shit, that's not canon anymore. Like,
what I've heard is the guy who's like the canon head, his thoughts are like, if you think they're canon to you. Like, have your own personal canon. There's no, we are going to say what's canon, but like, really, there's so much out there. Just, it's okay to just like, nothing is true canon. We're just going to have Disney canon, and you can have you can pick and choose what you want. So, okay, that's fine, I guess. But at the same time, the more I think about it, it's like, it doesn't really, like, it sucks that the good, like, light side users are always good, dark side users are always bad. There's never like a gray area. There's never someone struggling. It's like always just like black and white. It just feels like there's a lot of stuff. Like when episode 7 came out, I rewatched all 6 movies.
Nice.
And the first 3 are a rough ride, but they do really cool things. Like Count Dooku did nothing wrong. I will fucking stand here and say that forever. He did nothing wrong.
I'm trying to think back. Did he do anything wrong?
He was trying to. He knew the Emperor was bad, so he from the one sentence. Like, there's like one conversation him and Obi-Wan have, which makes me believe this in the second one, episode 2, where he goes, like, he's basically a double agent to go and stop him. And then at one point he's like talking to Obi-Wan. He's like, "You got to help me." He's like, "No, never. You're a bad guy." He's like, "Qui-Gon will listen to me," and then he walks out.
Damn.
Because Obi-Wan's a fucking cuck. Fuck that guy. It's nonsense.
That's a shame, though. He's the only good actor in episode 3.
And like, but like, there's no one that was on that team that was like able to write that in a compelling way. Because the next scene is just him going like cackling evil again. Yeah. It was like someone sat down and wrote this really cool scene of like Count Dooku being like, "Please, I'm not the guy you think I am." Yeah. Your old master would understand. We had like, you know, they probably talked about it or whatever, and then the next scene he's cackling evil and driving off in a spaceship. It's like, fuck. Damn. If one person just sat here and like went over the script and like, oh, you know what, right here, like, it's just,
it's like, yeah, you can say all the shit you want, but you have a red lightsaber, so you're bad.
Exactly. And it's like, I wish they would delve into that shit where it's like, you might be, you might have a red lightsaber, but you actually are a good guy, maybe, or you are at least trying to fight for the right cause. Or
is the first successful time where that happened Finn? Where someone who actually does change sides successfully. Yeah. I think it might be
Finn.
You
might be right.
Because Count Dooku didn't do it. I can't remember if anyone else had it.
No one's ever been like kind of close to doing that.
Yeah, everyone's just been like staunchly like, okay,
I'm
is who
on this
I am.
side, yeah.
Right.
And it's just annoying.
There's development within there, like Luke, for example, but
yeah.
like aside, nobody changes sides. Nobody changes their opinion on anything. It's just, like, they develop themselves personally, but that's it. Like there's no, like you're never. I mean, until Last Jedi comes out, we're not going to see Luke turn to the dark side probably. But something I did notice, the poster for Episode 8, all of the posters, if I'm not mistaken. I'm actually looking at 3 right now for people who can't see on SoundCloud. Tom does, in fact, have the original trilogy posters right in front of me. And in each one, Darth Vader is at the very back, and he's also the largest thing. In the Episode 8 poster,
Luke is at
the back and the largest character.
Oh, interesting.
And I believe in the prequel ones as well, it's the same thing, where the villain is
in the back.
At the back, the tallest one and the biggest one.
Interesting.
So maybe... fan theory, that Luke is going to turn to the dark side or something.
That makes sense because he's already stated in the one trailer that they have to get rid of the Jedi. Yeah. So maybe that makes sense.
I don't know.
Interesting.
That's just a theory I read somewhere. I didn't come up with that.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. But that's cool. Okay. That would be cool to see him actually change. But like he's the kind of character who would be like a double agent position. Like he has that potential. So maybe they're actually going to do something cool for once. Yeah. I know Rian Johnson just got signed on to do like another trilogy. That doesn't have to do with this main saga, but like some other place in the timeline trilogy of movies. I didn't know that. So I guess Disney loves him. Apparently. They gave him multiple
3 movies.
Yeah, they gave him
shit.
3 movies in now.
3 Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
I'm so glad they got the guy off from who did Jurassic World. I forget his name.
Steven Spielberg?
No, Jurassic World. The guy who did Jurassic World, I forget his name. He was going to do episode 9, and they fired him episode 9.
Oh, shit. What is his name?
Something with a T, I forget.
I got nothing.
But I didn't like Jurassic World that much.
I didn't see it.
It was kind of the same thing that episode 7 did, where it was like, look at the stuff from the old movie. Did you see the old movie? Do you remember the old movie?
Literally in the... Okay. I went to see it with my mom and my dad separately, 2 different times. The theater with my mom was like, she's a very casual Star Wars fan. She's just like, oh, wow, that's fun. Like, fun space opera time. It's great. And then my dad, like, is not, like, hardcore about it, but he's just, like, I don't know, not serious is a bad word for it, but, like, he cares a little bit more. And so the difference was just crazy because my mom was just like, yeah, what a fun movie. It was great. And my dad in the theater, I think it was in the scene where they pull up the it's not the Death Star. What the fuck's it?
The Starbase.
Starbase, yeah. Or
whatever, the big moon.
Yes,
moon.
The not Death Star.
Yeah.
And in the theater, he's just like, "That's the Death Star. What are you doing?" And he was just so pissed off. Like even in the car at home, he was just like, "That was awful. Like what was that?" And I don't know, because the first time I saw it in theaters, it was like, oh my god, this is awesome. Right. Then the more and more you think about it afterwards, like, oh, okay, that kind of sucked. Whatever.
I had fun with it, and I saw it a bunch with different people. So like, I enjoyed my time with it. But as time has progressed, I have cared less and less of anything besides these 3 movies, the original 3.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I genuinely love the very first one.
Same.
I think that movie is such a great standalone thing. Does such a great thing with the hero's journey, like writing strategy. It's fucking super well done. Yeah. And then the other 2 just are nice sequels. Yeah. Like, it's perfectly fine. I don't need anything more than that. It's like with the whole Ghostbusters thing they did. Everyone's like, it doesn't take away from the original. And you're like, you're right. Fuck it. I don't need this new thing. I can just, I got the original still.
I got the originals, right.
I'll just sit with these. It's fine.
Like, you know that, I think it's like a Kickstarter game. You know Bloodstained?
Yeah.
Like the new Metroidvania.
Nigarashi one?
Yeah.
The guy who did Castlevania originally? Yeah.
And like all these people on V, right? All these people are like, oh, I can't wait. Like Bloodstained. Blah, blah, blah. I hope it's good. And then I was just sitting there going like, why don't you just play Castlevania or Metroid or Hollow Knight or whatever, you know? Like there's so many other options. Like you don't have to invest all these things in a remake or like a spiritual successor when you have the real thing easily available to you. Like just emulate it.
Yeah. The only time I can understand that like frustration is when it is a direct sequel and it is going to continue the story or whatever it is you're doing.
Or it's generally going to be a better game.
Yeah, like I am super nervous about Kingdom Hearts 3 being a total dumpster fire.
Oh shit.
Like, it's not I mean, it could be good,
I mean,
but
from the trailers, it looks fine.
maybe, I don't know. Both Birth by Sleep and 3D are not great games. They don't play well. Granted, they're both on handhelds originally,
right.
so that's gonna, and they're but the team that made those are now the official Kingdom Hearts team over in Osaka. So does that mean that
they're in charge?
It's gonna be the same kind of like weird empty feeling. Now Nomura is in that team. He's with them, so maybe that'll direct it. I don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. I'm very nervous. But then they had the fucking 0.2 fucking prequel or sequel to Birth by Sleep, prequel to the third game, which is a tech demo for the third game.
Dude, I cannot keep up with Kingdom Hearts numbering, man. Holy shit.
It's such a nonsense, but that was not bad. So let's see. I have learned that I'm an insane person. So I love the Kingdom Hearts lore, which is a sentence alone that should put me in an insane asylum. It's crazy, but I love it. I think it's so, the fact that, and like, the fact that there is time travel and multiple people with the same name because they have soul transfers and all that shit should turn any human being off. But God, do I love it! Yum yum yum, delicious. So dumb. I love every second of it. I love just putting in a game for like the 9th time. Just feeling like, oh shit, does that mean something? And then you go fucking try to find the trail. I love it. But I was looking up stuff for Danganronpa. Do you know what that is? So, I've never played a VN.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I should try that. And I, for some reason, was on a serious VN fever. I was like, I need to play one. I have all of the Zero Escape games.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll play those. And then I was like, what if, instead of that, I played Danganronpa? So I look into it.
Yep.
They all have absurd names.
Right.
And I could not tell even what the order was. So the first one is Trigger. Hang on, right here.
Trigger Happy Havoc, right?
Yeah. Trigger Happy Havoc. And then I can't remember what the second one's called. Does it even say it on this box? No. Doesn't matter, I guess. Remember. But yeah, it's... So then they have these two released in one.
Yeah.
They have Ultra Despair Girls, which is like a spin-off of this.
Yeah.
And then they have Danganronpa 3 and Danganronpa V3.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't...
Danganronpa 3 is an anime.
Oh.
Danganronpa 3 is the actual sequel to this game. Every episode from the first one...
Yeah.
And they alternate between future and despair. Despair being this timeline, future being the timeline after this. You will watch the show and spoil yourself while watching future and then into despair.
Yeah.
And that is the way that show is fucking played out. And then there's V3, which I have absolutely no idea how it plays into any of this timeline. But that alone, I was like, I'm buying everything to do with the series. I need this.
You just need ridiculous lore.
I need the most complicated... I need to boot up Wikipedia just to figure out which order to play the game in. That's what I need.
I'm trying to think what is the most batshit lore in a game. That's a tough one, actually.
Metal Gear's pretty bad.
Metal Gear is really bad. I'll give you that. I love it. I love Metal Gear lore, but it's really bad.
It's real bad. I love Metal Gear Solid 5, but I hate it as a Metal Gear game.
Yeah.
Because it just does nothing.
Yeah. I actually started with 3.
Okay.
Which was convenient because
that's an interesting starting point.
Because it's the earliest in the timeline.
Did you then go right to 1?
I don't remember. Did I?
Did you go to Peace Walker? Did you just do it in chronological order at the time? Do you like Peace Walker?
The PS3 port, yes. The PSP version is garbage.
I don't like either version.
Oh.
I played the PSP one first though, and I was like, this is really bad.
Yeah, I played on PSP, and it was just like, because the controls are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It's most of the controls, but having it on the PS3 port was fine. It's not the best, but it was fun. I hate mother base management.
I hate it too. That's why I don't like those games. Thing. I don't like having to do a mission and leave.
Yeah. And so that's what I don't like about Metal Gear 5, which is like...
Metal Gear 5 did it better though, because you were going on a mission. Whereas in Peace Walker, you walk into a building and then you leave and come, and then you... So it was like it was like a normal Metal Gear story.
Yeah.
But every time you'd walk through a door, you would go back to Mother Base, reorganize some shit, and then go back on your mission. So it was like one big mission as opposed to Metal Gear 5, which is a bunch of smaller missions. But Metal Gear 5 is irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
That game doesn't need to exist. It's so well done as a game, like gameplay. I wish they would make PUBG, but with the Metal Gear 5 engine.
Well, I mean, if Metal Gear Survive does any well, then they might. I
wish they would throw away this fucking base defense thing and just do what Fortnite did and be like, we're Battle Royale now. Because I would actually buy that.
I would love that.
Because Metal Gear 5 plays so well.
Right.
Feels so good.
The gameplay is great. It's where the story falls off. It's just like, oh, okay, this is a Metal Gear game, I think, but it's all so crazy.
And the kid has a robot.
And we're gonna throw you some fucking English eliminating nanomachines and parasites or so. Oh shit, spoilers.
God, that's right. Fuck. That was so dumb.
Right. Oh my god.
That was so stupid.
Really dumb. But to be fair, nanomachines are also pretty dumb.
But to target your language, I forgot about that. That was so dumb. Come on, Kojima.
Yeah.
I really feel like I wish he got to finish what he wanted to, like his original vision.
Your words and deeds.
Yeah.
I love that.
I do wish we got to see a full Metal Gear 5.
Oh my god. When he fucking... Everyone started giving him shit about Quiet's design, and he's like, you will regret your words and deeds. And she just breathes through her skin. You fucking madman. I love him.
I love Quiet. I love her. Not even like in a sexual way. I just love Quiet. She's a great character.
She's also OP as fuck.
Super OP.
Oh my god. Like, everyone will give you shit just because, like, or like, they'll say, like, oh, D-Dog's better, but clearly not. All you have to do is be like, okay, Quiet, trank all these people, and I'm just gonna walk up and Fulton them, and you beat the game. Like, that's it.
It's so good. And then the fucking I did every mission at least once, and so there's the ones where everything was harder. I forgot what the difficulty name was. They all had names like subsistence and whatever. I forget what's that one is called. Maybe it's just expert or extreme or something. But I did. There's the one where you're with the fucking Navajo guy.
Yeah.
And the helicopter crashes, and then there's a bunch of skulls attacking you.
Oh my god, fuck that mission.
It's fucking piss easy. Get an LMG, get Quiet with the tank buster rounds, and she fucking murders everyone by herself.
I don't think I got the tank buster rounds.
Oh, it's amazing. If you get it, it's fucking the best.
Okay.
She just blows everyone to pieces. Like she hits them twice, then their armor like blows up, you shoot them, they drop dead.
I finished it. But not using
I did it. It took me forever to do, and I was like, "Fuck it, everything at max damage." And I did it in like 30 seconds.
Damn.
She was so fucking strong, just blowing holes through people.
I just had the regular sniper equipped because I didn't know how to get the tank buster rounds, so I just had the regular sniper equipped, which actually does nothing pretty much. And every other mission, it's like incredible, but this particular one, she doesn't do dick. And so, like, you come to rely on Quiet for being, like, this super good sniper support. But then all of a sudden, she's useless. And so, I'm pretty sure I cheesed a way to, like, lead the skulls one by one, like, behind this building so that they were out of range of everyone else. And did, like, there's a way there, if you can catch them in, like, a middle of an animation, you can do, like, a counterattack or something.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. And so, I cheesed every single one. I just kept repeating the counterattack. It does, like, minimal damage, but I just kept doing that over and over and over again until I finally got one, and then over and over again until I got the second one. It took me like fucking half an hour. But
if you get her fucking like high caliber rifle, she just she like two taps everyone dead.
Jesus Christ.
She was so good. It was insane.
Dude, I hate that so much. For like you spent all this time on something and then you realize like you could have done it. Actually that reminds me. So I hate to go back to Crash, but it was one of those things where I was on this, like I was saying before, like how the fuck did I do this as an 8-year-old, right? And so I don't know what got into me, but I was just like, I'm going to go see if people who never played this as an 8-year-old are also terrible at it. And so I tried to look up streamers and like Let's Players do it and just watch them get like really butt mad. And so I think it was Markiplier, I want to say. I just had this like really sadistic feeling. I was just like, I want to watch people suffer at this game that I know that I beat as an 8-year-old. And so I turn on Markiplier, and it's one of those levels where it's the bridge, right? Where the planks fall, and you can only jump on certain ones. And there's the ropes on the side of it. You can jump on the ropes
and just run the rope.
In the PS1 version, it's easy because the hitbox is different, like you were saying before.
Yeah.
So you have this big old hitbox, you can just jump on it and run. And the new ones, it's harder to do, but you can still do it. But anyway, he goes through this entire thing and just loses his mind because it's so fucking hard. And then he finally beats it like half an hour later. And he looks at the comment section because it was like a live stream. Looks at the comment section. Everyone is saying, you can run on the ropes. You can run on the ropes. What are you doing? Run on the ropes. And I just watched all of the light fade out of his eyes as there's just like a solid 1.5 minute shot where he's just looking off into the distance like, where did I go wrong? What is this? What have I done? And it It was amazing. It was absolutely worth the watch. I loved it. That's all I wanted.
That's some of the coolest shit, though, when you realize there's like an alternate way of doing something.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching, do you know who Day 9 is?
Day 9?
Day 9's he's an old StarCraft pro. He does he'll do like videos online about like stuff like that.
I didn't jump on the StarCraft train.
He does a bunch of videos where he'll explain like the mentality of like a pro player and like what you want to do about that, or like how to just look at a different game. And one thing he was saying is never assume. Mm-hmm. Like an example he uses is in Symphony of the Night, the backdash is slightly faster than running, but so he never runs in that game. He backdashes everywhere.
Yeah.
But you would assume if you just play the game, the backdash is a defensive maneuver because it's only supposed to be used to step back. But he was like, if you don't look at it that way and you look at how can I apply everything in a certain way, like if you can like how like am I just taking everything at face value? Something like that is super cool. When you figure that out on your own, you're like, oh, I can just jump on the rope and like just like you're like, oh, okay, the rope is not like when a game works the way like things would be in real life. Yeah, like it's like, oh, if I don't have to be on the planks part. I can. There's other parts of this.
Right. Once you realize it's not like this is the way you're supposed to do it, and you can do anything, and you have to like get out of that mentality of just like this is the way I'm supposed to do it, X, Y, Z. You know.
Yeah, it's super cool. Whatever. And you can just like I'm just gonna do, like figure it out. Like oh, we don't have to. This is not how it's supposed to be done. I can do it the super easy way. Even though sometimes it's like super cheesy, and you're like I'm just gonna fucking. You know, whatever. Just like fucking some of the fights in Final Fantasy VII, some of the super bosses are like, oh, I'm just going to abuse the fact that you can take status effects. I'm just going to fucking, I'm going to make it so you have no turn.
I think my favorite one of those like Easter egg things where it's just like, oh, you could have just done this the whole time and just made this 10 times easier. I think has to be Metal Gear 3 where the end, the sniper, you can, there's a point earlier in the game where if you find you can find a sniper rifle. And then there's a point in the game where you have like a 10-second window where you can see the end, like in his wheelchair right outside of a building. And like...
Oh, right at that dock.
At the dock.
Yes,
and a 10-second window is the person like rolling him into the building. But if you have the sniper and you're right there and you can hit him within that window, you just don't fight him and he's dead.
That's super cool.
You have to hit him once, but you have to hit him in the 10-second period. But if you hit him, he's dead and you just never have to fight him. Alternatively... you can get to the fight normally, and then you turn off the PlayStation, and then set the clock like 2 days later or something, turn it back on, and he's dead.
Oh, I've heard about where he dies, he waits too long.
He just dies of old age. I just love that shit.
That's why I really do like Kojima and a lot of just what the shit he does, where he'll use everything to his disposal. Like some of the like the date mission in Peace Walker with Paz.
Yeah.
And you communicate to her using the multiplayer voice commands.
God.
Like he uses every piece of the puzzle. Yep. I love that. I think it's such a cool fucking thing that Kojima he's always doing shit like that. It's fucking awesome.
And even the I gotta say though, my favorite one is probably the Sorrow. Just because like the first time I played it I was like, oh, this is whatever. But then like he gets all this praise and credit of like, oh, he's an artist and like this Metal Gear is an art game. And that's not 100% true, but this particular one, I do believe it, just because, like, the symbolism of this is the guilt of all the soldiers that you've killed physically hurting you.
I love that.
As they walk into you, and they're physically, like, you can visibly see they're haunting you, they physically touch you, and they hurt you, they, like, say these things like, oh, I had a family, and blah, blah, blah. And so you feel emotionally bad. Alternatively, you just don't kill anyone at all, and it's like a 2 minute, or it's like a, 1 minute thing.
I never kill anyone in any stealth game.
But
it's the best. But I love that. That's super cool.
The last playthrough I did, I completely forgot about it, even though I knew that the Sorrow boss fight existed, but I totally forgot about it. And I went Rambo mode and killed like everybody. It took me like 20 minutes to get through that fight.
Oh my god.
It was terrible. Oh my god.
Actually, even the way that fight ends, where you have to...
And then you have to use take the revival pill.
Yeah. Which when I first did it, like I did it, I had no one interrupting me. Just walked right through. And I was like, I just die? How does this...
Right.
What do I gotta do?
I somehow figured it out when I was 15, but then not when I was 22. Even though I knew it before.
That was the one thing in that game I had to look up. Yeah, that's the one thing I had to look up. Because I was so confused. Because like, I don't understand how, but it was just, it was there. It was right there in front of me. Any moment I could have hit L2 or R2. I think it's L2, but just saw that it was there. Like, I just didn't hit every button, which is another thing I had heard once from a guy who's a game developer, and he's like, every time I start a game, I hit every button. I want to know what every single thing does.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that makes sense, because there have been times where, you start a game up, and you're like, what the fuck does triangle do? Like,
I'm trying to think if that ever happened to me. Just like those times. I keep reading all these stories of like, I beat Skyrim, and then I only found out 200 hours in that I could fast travel.
Yeah.
I was just like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like, when I first played Bloodborne, I did not realize there was a second attack until, like, probably an hour or two in.
Like the strong, like
yeah.
the triangle, yeah.
I was like, oh, this weapon is not... And, like, the transformations and stuff, I didn't understand how that worked right away, so I was like, oh, okay.
Got it.
This is
I didn't play Bloodborne yet, because if I am going to, then I'm going to play the Dark Souls games first. And... so at one point I was just like, okay, it's time for me to prove my gamer cred, and I'm going to beat Dark Souls. And so I bought Dark Souls and came home, and I know nothing about it, right? Mike, as you know, loves
big
this
fan.
shit.
He's a big fan.
And like knows the meta and like knows where to get all this secret shit. And so I'm going into this completely blind. I get like kind of far, and I get to, I think it was like Darker Garden or something.
Okay.
And I keep losing fights and everything. Mike comes in. He's like, all right, I'm going to start a new game, Pete. Let's do it. I was, whatever. And, like, he does this specific thing where you find this hidden area and you can get a katana at, like, level 2 or whatever the fuck. And then just starts wrecking everything. I'm just like, if I knew this before, then this would have been 10 times easier. And now we're kind of far. But at this point, I'm just waiting for Mike to do it for me. Because, like,
he knows so much about Dark Souls 1.
Because
he doesn't even play the other ones. He's just super invested in Dark Souls 1. It's super weird, yeah. Like I don't know if he's even beaten it. I think he gets like to the last boss and is like, I want to try this other build. And he goes and does something else, and he's super invested in it. We were doing a play together on the PC version, and then my computer was like, oh, it's cute. You thought I was going to work? Hilarious. No longer. And so that game always black screens. I have no idea how to get through it.
Damn. I think I bought it on PC at first because it was like $5 on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
And then it runs at 10 frames per second.
It was running fine. And then my video card was like, hey, we're going to update. I was like, all right. They're like, oh, by the way, everything's broken. I'm like, that's not what an update's supposed to do, video card. So I got it to open up once since then, but it would not register my controller. And I'm like, at this point, this is a nightmare that I will never live again. I'm done. I'm not doing this. So I have accepted my fate of never beating Dark Souls, and that's fine. I beat Bloodborne. You suck it too.
Same thing happened to me with Persona 4 actually.
Oh no.
I got like 10 hours in on the PS2. I bought the PS2 one, and I didn't realize it was on sale on PS3 that you could digitally download. So I bought the PS2 one. And
I also didn't know that.
It was like $10 too or something. Anyway, so I bought Persona 4 PS2. Like 10 hours in, everything's fine. Turn it off. Like after I save, everything's totally normal. Turn it on the next time, it just doesn't work.
It's the worst.
Just stops working for no reason. Like I didn't take it out of the cases. I didn't even take it out of the PlayStation. Didn't touch a thing, and it just doesn't work anymore.
That's always so depressing.
Like
I've had that happen before.
Those are 10 hours I'm never gonna get back, and I'm just like, fuck this. This was.
Like I had my Final Fantasy 9 disc. Yeah. I was on disc 3 or 4. I think it was on disc 3, like right about to go to disc 4. And my roommate in college started playing my version. Yeah. He gets to the disc transfer of 2 to 3. Mm-hmm. It will not read disc 3. I'm like, is my disc 3 broken? I go to my save, boot it up, disc 3 works fine.
Huh.
And it's just a weird glitch error thing where like the disc load for switching disc somehow broke somewhere along the line. And it's like, this sucks. Like, that's the thing, too, is I own that game digitally. Yeah. Like, if he was just like, oh, I want to play this, and I just happen to think, like, oh, I have it on PS3. Here you go. Yeah. That would have never had a problem. But, like, it's just...
That's bizarre.
Super crazy shit like that. And it's super weird.
Man.
It's depressing, but it happens.
Like, I'm afraid to buy PS2 games now, just because I have no idea what my... Because now my Battlefront game doesn't work anymore, either. Battlefront 1 just doesn't work now.
Do you have the VCR one or the top loader PS2?
The top loader.
Okay.
It's a slim.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So that I don't have an answer. Because I know all the VCR ones, they die real fast. Their laser is not strong. It'll fade faster. And like what a lot of people have with the VCR one is either the CD ones where the disc is blue or the DVD ones. One of them just stopped working. It just, your PS2 is like, I don't want to do CDs anymore. Like we had one of our original CD. And then eventually, over time, nothing loaded. Damn. And it was just like, we'd put a game in, open the tray, close the tray, open the tray, close the tray, open the tray, close the tray, open the tray. Oh, and it's working now.
There's actually one point Disc read error saved me from playing Metroid Other M.
Oh, wow.
So apparently I had the Wii model that was like just old enough that it didn't read dual layer discs.
Okay.
And apparently Other M is a dual layer game. And so I got the game, went home, put it in, and it didn't work. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I was already like considering trading it anyway, and I was just like, all right, if all the future Wii games are going to do this, then fuck this. And I just traded it in and got a PS3. But,
wow, that's pretty lucky.
Yeah, and then I bought one. I bought a Wii after the fact, like a couple months ago, just because my GameCube for some reason just decided to stop doing audio.
Weird.
So yeah,
that's weird. That's probably like a fucking some glue on the motherboard lifted up, and it's just
Like, I tried getting a new system. I tried getting a new cable. Like, just nothing worked.
Oh wow, weird.
So super weird. I don't know, but the Wii does both, and plus there were like a couple Wii games that I wanted to play anyway. So actually, Dan Squartea bought it from him because he just. I don't know if you've ever been to his house.
I think I have.
But he has like a shitload of like all the retro games consoles, and like he just collects video games.
That's
but
cool.
he does it to flip it online.
Oh, okay. Oh, so he's just always selling then.
Yeah.
So
he sold it for like $40.
Nice.
So primo.
I got a Wii somewhere on the floor over there that I could boot up anytime. GameCube's behind you that
Yeah, I saw that.
Ben just left outside on the porch, and I'm like, it's about to be winter. Why is this here?
Classic fucking Ben.
So I was like, I guess I'll try to save this thing. So I brought it inside.
Do Mike and Ben watch the show? And by watch, I mean listen.
Occasionally, I think Mike does every once in a while.
I'll tell you what. I'll prove it to you. I was thinking about this on the way down. Mike, if you are listening right now, as soon as you hear this message, I want you to text me saying the word banana, banana, banana. And then I'll know. And that's the only way I'll know. And that way Tom will have verification.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. Also text Tom because that would be easier and cut out the middleman. But I'd also like to know because I'd be curious.
I know he's listening to a few, but I don't know if he's listening to all of them. But yeah, it's...
And now, if he doesn't respond, then you can just shit on him all you want.
I just know
hold it over your head.
He's just a deadbeat. I honestly have no idea how often people listen to this. I have occasionally someone will message me. I'm like, oh right, I talked about that on the show. Sometimes I'll be talking to someone and they'll be like, oh right, you thought about this thing. I'm like, oh right, my show. That's how people know. That's how people know my thoughts. That's because every once in a while, like it's something I don't actually bring up to other human beings. I just do it on here.
Only
it's like
here,
So I'm like, I just want to fucking just dump my brain for a second. Let me just randomly talk about this, and it's just like I'll be talking to someone. Like, oh right, you don't like that game. I'm like, oh right,
how did you know that?
Do I tell you this? Oh, right now I have a thing where I talk about things.
I put myself out on the internet.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So that's been super weird about that, where every once in a while someone will be like like my one friend, I was like talking about like, oh, I really have just been getting super into manga again. I've been reading a bunch of manga all the time. I'm like, I'm just looking for the new shit. And then my one friend just like randomly messaged me on Facebook, goes, oh, here are the ones people are really reading. I'm like, how did you? Oh, right.
Right.
This is helpful. When I put something out and someone answers it, this is nice. I like this.
Yeah. Nice.
Which, by the way, The Promised Neverland, super good. Super good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
It's, I went in totally blind, but it's, I don't even know if I could properly describe it without, because the first chapter is so well done, where you're like, just the way it's like, it's very, like, how do I want to word this without spoiling anything? So it does basically, it'll like establish like a very normal, calm, like orphanage setting. And then as the main character is describing things about the day, starts mentioning things that are slightly weird that you don't have in orphanages. Like, I guess this is a spoiler because it's not all the promo material. They have just a neck tattoo with a number. And so it's like, so they'll be like, oh, we got, our family, our friends, food, neck tattoos. We all wear perfectly white outfits, and then just keeps moving on. You're like, that's weird. And then like, and then things start going on a little bit further and further, and then they have this huge reveal, and you're like, holy shit, I saw none of this coming.
Oh, by the way, we're in the Holocaust.
Yeah, it's like super fucking like it just drops like crazy shit, and then it's just like, oh, excuse me, it's so I don't know if you ever watched or read Death Note, since you're new to anime.
Nah,
it's on Netflix. I recommend it, but it's Death Note. Death Note and this are very similar, as in it's a shonen where instead of fighting, it's like mental like battles. So it's a lot of mind games and a lot of the people trying to outthink each other, and like it's a similar tone to that, where it's it's people just thinking their way through a problem as opposed to like just fighting and just beating shit up and stuff.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
If you're also looking for something that's in the new hotness, My Hero Academia, fucking fire.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd certainly like to see more of Mount Lady, but
so you're familiar?
A little bit. I think I've seen like the first 2 episodes, maybe. But I'd mostly watch for her.
I keep saying it on the show, but the next season is going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Because I've only been reading it, and I know where the second season ended, and where the second season ends is like, is a nice little spot to be like, oh, what's going to happen next? But the shit that happens after, holy fuck. I was the most hype. It was like that and the couple scenes in One Piece where I'm like, let's fucking go.
Dude, I'm afraid to touch One Piece. Aren't there like fucking 800 chapters?
It is currently 886, 85?
Oh my god.
Maybe 87, somewhere in there.
Oh my god.
It's the best thing in the world.
That's nuts.
It's the best thing to ever happen to me, ever.
One Piece is?
It's so good.
Oh my god.
It's so fucking, it's funny. It's emotional. I care about every single character. It's amazing. The world is fucking so well developed. It is so crazy. Like, it is not just like these 9 characters on a boat going off on a thing.
Yeah.
It is so, they'll just start talking about stuff, and I just know what they're talking about. Because everything's established. They will offhandedly talk about something, or like they'll go to something, and you see this character there. Like, so there's so many different races, and like, there was a scene at one point where they're at an auction, and it's like a person selling auction, whatever, human trafficking. And there's
human trafficking.
But there's like a list of like the people that are up for sale, and it was like 1 human, 1 giant, 1 double jointed arm person, 1 snake person, and like you eventually just run into them, but like. It's not like, oh cool, there's snake people, we just know that because like subconsciously he's been like just leaving like little clues like, oh, these people out in the world, these people exist, like, it's so fucking well done.
That's
every
awesome.
Island has like their own, just even to the down to their economy. We understand like how they're fucking like how their islands run. Like the shit that they fucking like the island they're on now, like what it costs to stay there, and like fucking so well done.
That's awesome.
I love One Piece.
Maybe I should give it a try then.
It's a big commitment. I would read it over watching it.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Watching it the first. So like I was watching a clip. I was talking about this in the last one, and they were showing. I was watching a video talking about like anime piracy, but like they were using clips from One Piece, and they were using clips from the early One Piece. Looks so much better than newer One Piece. Because I guess it's done by Toei Animation, who. I don't know what's happened, but in the last like few years, they've just not given a shit. Like, have you watched any clips from Dragon Ball Super?
A couple. I think I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes.
Because that show is pretty gross.
Yeah,
and that's why. Because they just
like,
don't.
I heard so much bad shit about it, just like, okay, I'm just gonna.
Like a lot of the
like,
artwork of it is just not well done.
Like Zach, you know Zach?
Yeah.
Like he's super into Dragon Ball, and so. He'll still like, even though he like doesn't like it, he'll still like, because he's a committed fan. He'll still watch it.
I've heard that a lot of
obligation.
Yeah, a lot of like people who are like Dragon Ball is my shit.
Yeah,
they've been watching Super and they're like, it's not the worst thing ever, but like it's not great.
It's just for the taste of glory that he's had. Just needs another fix, man. Just needs another fix.
I went to see some stupid indie movie because I'm indie fucking hipster garbage.
Yeah.
But at the time
you
of
sure
them,
are, pal.
at the time of them doing that, or me going there, they were showing the Dragon Ball movie with the kangaroo cat monster thing, the purple cat.
The live action one?
No, it's the new anime movie. Maybe it's not the newest one, but
with Beerus, right? Beerus' his name?
Is he a cat person? Does he look
Purple
Egyptian?
Cat person.
Yeah. So it was that one. And there was a huge line outside. I'm like, there's no way someone's fucking trying to see fucking whatever it was I was seeing.
Yeah.
And there was just a bunch of dudes out there like, fucking Dragon Ball, let's go. I'm like, oh man, I didn't realize this show had like this much fucking commitment this long out. Like this many years later, people are still like super fucking like hype about Dragon Ball. And it was mildly heartwarming. I was like, this is nice. This is nice to see. People like still care about this weird thing of just muscular dudes punching the shit out of each other.
It's so interesting because like the common complaint about anime in general is just like everyone has same face. Everyone looks the same. Like you can't tell this one from this one. But that I was like at the con yesterday. Like I'm looking at all these figures and like, you know, there's generic Moe anime girl number 563, and then there's Goku, and it's you know, him like his torn off shirt, like gigantic muscles and bright yellow spiky hair, and like
he's just ripped as fuck.
He's ripped as fuck, and he's like screaming and just and like it's I don't know, it just makes it unique and interesting.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what makes things classics. Just as a general statement, just across music, anime, art, movies, whatever. It's just like if you can make something that really stands out, then people will remember it.
Right.
Because like even it comes, especially with music, I've noticed it because like it comes back to even like Green Day, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Like Green Day isn't necessarily like musical geniuses by any stretch of the imagination, but Billy Joe's voice is so like unique. It like
at any moment
it's memorable, and you know it's him. You know you're listening to a Green Day song, and like it sticks out to you. And even though you not necessarily like it, it's like that's part of the reason why it's successful because it sounds different, it sounds unique. Like it or not, but,
right? Yeah, that's a good point. If you like, I can walk into any party. I'm like, well, this is a Green Day's here.
Right.
I'm gonna leave this party.
That's good. Oh man, I don't know where I was going with that. But.
No, that makes sense. Like, there's definitely, like I don't like. There's I was in the car with my friend once, and he's flipping through the radio.
Yeah.
And he. He would hang on each like song for a second, and he hung on this one. And he goes through and I'm like, oh, that was Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. Goes, how the fuck did you know that? I'm like, I don't know. Like they just have a very distinct sound. I can tell immediately by just a couple of notes because they're tuning and like I can just it just makes sense. Like it just registers in my head as like I know exactly where it is.
And like even though it might alienate some people because it's not like the same exact cookie cutter thing. The people who do like it are going to be more into it because it's unique and interesting.
Oh, right, yeah. That niche is definitely going to get filled.
So the people who can tell it by 3 notes are like, they know what they're talking about because they're hardcore fans.
Yeah, like there was this fake news nonsense on Facebook where it was a clip of Metallica in concert playing the Pokemon theme. And in 2 notes, I was like, that's not them.
Yeah.
That's not their tune. It's not James's voice. That's not them. That's not... This is someone like putting fake things over and trying to sound like Metallica, but it's not them. Yeah. And it was like, oh, this is really weird. Like, why do I know them so well? Why am I so invested in this group I listen to occasionally?
But it's true though, right?
True. It's pretty cool. It's always kind of fun to like when you catch that, you're like, oh, I'm like some kind of fucking genius over here.
Genius. Yeah.
That's actually, you know what else also I was in is there's a restaurant like down the street there.
Yeah.
They just recently reopened, and we were there me and my dad were there kind of late to the day, so the kitchen was cleaning up, and all of a sudden they started playing A Fate Will Change from Persona 5 in the back, God. And I was just like, what is going on? Like I was like I perked up like a dog. I'm like, where is the Persona music? Where's the... Oh my God, it's coming from the kitchen. This guy's amazing.
I listened to that song on the way here, actually.
So good.
I normally don't really listen to video game soundtracks, but Persona 5 soundtrack is one of the only ones that like works as both a music or video game soundtrack and like regular music that you can just listen to normally.
Oh, it's great.
It's like a regular song format.
It's so good.
Rather than like, a 40-minute like instrumental loop.
Right.
But I think Persona 5 and 2 songs from the Sonic R soundtrack are the only video game soundtracks.
Sonic R?
Yeah.
The racing game?
Yeah.
Really?
It has a dope soundtrack. I don't even like the game that much, but the soundtrack's
it's not like a
dope.
Game. I remember I had a friend who had it on PC, and we were playing it. I remember the only thing that like stuck out to me was like, oh, Sonic doesn't have a car because he runs. Yeah. That makes sense. And then like, wow, this game, it fucking controls like all Sonic games, hot fucking garbage.
Yeah.
I don't even care if people are like, oh, but Sonic Mania is really good. Fuck you. All Sonic controls like hot garbage. Sonic is horrible. Fuck off. It's so bad.
The control. You just hate Sonic in general.
I just hate Sonic. I can't. And it's crazy too. When I was a kid, I was one of those like, I love Sonic. And if I knew what DeviantArt was, I would have had my own OC fucking hedgehog. I was super into just Sonic.
I love it.
But I hate every game. They're so bad. Yeah. And there's people like, oh, it's Sonic Adventure 2. Fuck you. Sonic is bad. Can we just let this thing die and go away? I hate Sonic so much.
No, because I don't know. Because the 2D games were good.
I can't even get through those.
Really?
I hate the way they control. I hate the way Sonic feels.
I don't know.
And only recently has it been explained to me that like you're not meant to like see everything of a Sonic level. You just need to get to the end.
Yeah.
So like you're supposed. So when you play it again, you go and you do a different route.
Yeah,
and
there's
then
a
get there.
shitload of different ways.
So I didn't understand that as a kid. I thought you had to just go everywhere. So I was like, why is this map nonsense? But like, so maybe it's not as bad. But control wise, I don't like it. Like for a while, I did not like the design principles of it, but I don't like the controls of it either. I think it's just super fucking. I just think Sonic control is like a weird thing. I don't understand.
But
like,
why though?
I don't know.
Like, what about it?
He's like weirdly floaty, and like I don't feel like it's as responsive. It's not responsive in a way that I want it to be. Like Mario, not a huge fan of like just Mario platformers, but like I get it. Yeah. When someone's like, "Oh, I like Mario," I'm like, it makes sense to me. Like Mario, just he does the thing that you want him to do. You hit the button, he does it. Whereas Sonic, he's like, I don't know, he just controls weird. I don't like it.
Yeah, I get that in like 3D Sonics, where it's just like you hit a button, and you have no idea what's going to happen. They can do one of like 5 different things. Yeah. Because like either like one button will do 5 different things. Like it'll be if you're on the ground, you do this. If you're in the air, you do this. If you're in a double jump, you do this. And you have no fucking clue what's going on at any given moment. That I understand. I don't know. I'm gonna have to agree to disagree on this one. I like 2D Sonic.
A lot of people love Sonic. I know I'm in the minority, 100%. I just think Sonic is just I don't know what it is. I don't.
When there's like I don't know, because I get what you're saying. It's one of those things where it's 90% pain and 10% pleasure. Because it's like one of those things that you do at just the right moment. Eventually, it'll like the planets will align and it'll be like awesome. And you'll have this one straight line and you're doing this crazy shit and you're like in the zone and everything is crazy and you're doing all this whatever. And that's when Sonic games are good. There are these magic moments in it. But why don't they just make a game of all magic? And they don't know how to do it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like
I can imagine if you did a perfect run of Sonic, it feels pretty good.
Right.
But I don't...
Like Sonic Mania versus Sonic Forces, for example.
Oh, God.
Sonic Mania is like diehard like Sega Genesis fans who just love the old Sonic games. And like they have all this like money and resources now and they can do whatever they want. And it's a great game. Versus the people who've been working on it for like 20 years and have no idea what the fuck to do.
They make fucking hot garbage.
They make hot garbage.
I was watching on Twitter, someone had posted like a 2-minute clip of them doing a level of Sonic Forces. And it was, I couldn't tell what was happening. And then he died. He was like, he did a thing where he ran and jumped over a train or through a train. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Yeah. And then he was just like midair and then just fell. And it was like he like hung in air. Yeah. Like the game was supposed to like, something was supposed to be there to start him for like the next scene as the camera moved, and then he just fell and died. I was like, all right, that's Sonic. That makes sense.
That's not 3D Sonic is bad for the most part. There's like a couple, like I said, there's like a couple Planet Align moments. I think in Generations was good.
People liked Generations that came out. I played it for like 2 seconds.
And then I made the grave mistake of buying Sonic Unleashed.
Oh boy.
The one with the wolf transformation.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that was rough. Like even 13-year-old me was like, this is garbage. Like,
is that actually the worst one? Because I feel like the worst one has to be like Black Knight. Because no one even talks about Black Knight.
I didn't even play Black Knight.
Like when it comes down to it, like people who aren't like associated with Sonic, they're like, but fucking Sonic Unleashed. And you're like, right. But the Sonic Black Knight is just gone. Yeah. That one has been removed from the timeline. We don't talk about that game anymore.
We don't talk.
Is that one so bad that even like people who like Sonic are just like, no, let's just keep this quiet. Let's never bring this one up again.
I never played it, so I don't know. I haven't even looked at gameplay for it. I was just like, I hear so many bad reviews of it. I'm just not even going to bother. I didn't look into it at all.
God, there were so many years of just Sonic fans just getting their fucking teeth kicked in.
I know, right? I feel bad for them. Like, obviously the OCs deserve it, but like the rest of it is just like Sonic was good, and you can make a good Sonic game. You can make. I haven't played
Mania, so maybe Mania would change my mind of like how Sonic works, but like.
It has the potential, but the Sonic team is stupid, and they don't know what they're doing.
They don't.
I don't know how, after fucking 20 years.
Yeah, you would think after watching someone like a Mania, and you'd be like, oh, that's how it's done.
Right.
I mean, Forces was in the works already, so maybe the next Sonic Team game will take notes from Mania, but...
They hit like the little spots of the sweet spots at just a couple moments of the game, and then everyone's like, okay, this is good, you should do this more, and they just don't do it. I don't know. All right, I'm stopped. Getting too heated.
Oh boy, Sonic.
Oh my god. But yeah.
Yeah, I've never. Are you like mostly into platformers? Is that like where you
kind of sort of
you jive?
I do a lot of everything. Like, I'm not like hardcore into like one particular thing. Like I like a little bit of everything. So like RTS to play Age of Empires and like I guess if I had to define it, it'd just be like character action games.
Okay.
It's like Bayonetta, like Metal Gear,
yeah.
Gravity Rush is my favorite game.
Is it really?
Yeah, I love Gravity Rush.
I've never played it.
If you have a PS4,
I do.
It's great.
I should probably get it then.
It's like, okay, it's one of those things where you kind of have to like, how do I put it? If you can like, if you know how to appreciate good like game design and level design and things like that, it's gonna be great. And like just like get invested into it, and it's amazing. Because realistically, game design wise, the combat is pretty repetitive, to be honest with you.
Mm.
But the rest of it is like a masterpiece.
Really?
In terms of level design, the music, the music's great. Like, it's one of those things where you're just flying around, the music's going in the background, like, it fits perfectly, all the planets align, and it's just like this great experience. And it's like unique and charming, and I love it. It's like, in this sea of fucking hot garbage of 7th and 8th gen games, Gravity Rush comes along, and it's just like this complete no-name, like,
I don't even know who developed it.
Japan studio.
Okay. Oh, it's okay. Interesting.
And I just love it. Like it's.
Did you like 2?
I did.
Okay.
It's one of those things where it's like, oh, what was the other one? There's like another game that was a perfect analogy. What was it?
Like recently?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, let's put it this way, we're gonna do a food analogy. All right. Okay. So imagine you got pepperoni pizza.
Okay.
It's nice and simple. It's beautiful. You'll love it. It's great.
Wow.
You get an extra large pizza. The middle still got all the pepperonis on it, but the edges of it are like anchovies and pineapples and shit, and it's just awful. And I'm not going to debate pineapple on pizza because that's disgusting. But like, so, 80% of, whereas the first one is like 100% of the game is great. The second one is a bigger, overall package, but only 80% of it is great.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably an easier way to put it.
Okay.
And there was like a perfect analogy, and I can't remember it.
Because when the Vita came out, everyone was like, if you're getting a Vita, keep Gravity Rush. And I was just like, nah, Persona 4 Golden. Yeah. I'm open this bitch.
True.
Oh, so good.
I never had a Vita. I didn't fall for the memes.
I love the Vita. The Vita is amazing. But
I hear it's a good emulator device,
it's so good.
Did you hack it?
No. You can just buy the fucking PS1 games on PSN.
Oh.
It's really good. And then no one else thought so. So it died. And that makes me sad because I thought the Vita was amazing.
Oh yeah, if you are going to get Gravity Rush, then the remastered version on PS4.
That's what I would do, yeah.
Because it's like much better.
You can't even find Vita games physically out there. Like it's so hard. I've been looking forever to find fucking Digimon Cyber Sleuth on Vita forever. I have it on PS4, but I was like, fuck it. I'd play it more on the go anyway. Might as well get that. I'm going to have to buy it digitally, which is like $30 still, but still. Yeah. I just like having things physically.
Yeah.
And it's so hard. Shit don't exist.
Yeah, like Gravity Rush 2, for example, is stay on the same path. Is like I definitely prefer physical over digital, but this is like the only game I was ever hyped for, like in forever. And I just needed to have it like day one at midnight. Like,
that's the one real nice thing about this digital release now is you can literally get it like
12 o'clock.
Yeah, you can have it preloaded and just go. It unlocks and you go. And like, that's nice. Because when I got Final Fantasy 15, I was there midnight, picked it up, went home, put it in, fucking 3-hour patch. I was like, what the fuck is going on? They fucking delayed this because they didn't want this to be a thing. Why is this a fucking thing? What is happening? Fucking who cares? Yeah. So I let it download, went to bed, played the next day. Damn. I was like, all right.
That's rough.
Guess this is a tomorrow thing.
But I feel so bad. Apparently, Gravity Rush is such a niche thing that like the physical copies are like super valuable now.
Are they really?
And so I super regret not buying a physical. Oh my God. Like I think I found one at my local Walmart.
Okay.
Because most people who shop at Walmart and also are buying PS4 games
are not going to know.
Probably don't know what Gravity Rush is.
Yeah.
And so they're just going to see like this $60 game with anime girls on the cover.
Fuck, people who play video games don't know what Gravity Rush is.
Right, exactly. I feel so bad. Like it only got like 400,000 sales.
That's so low.
Like for a video game that's super low for like, especially it's such a big title.
From such a developer and stuff, like that has a lot of Sony backing. That's great. Yeah. That's so sad.
It's super sad. And I love it. It's my favorite thing. I just want it to succeed, and it's not, and it hurts. It hurts, Tom.
Is it never going to get a third one?
I don't think so.
That's sad.
I doubt it. I mean, it might, but I doubt it.
That's really depressing.
It does. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I'll stop gushing about it now. I just really love Gravity Rush.
Man, I love some, like, when that happens, when you just, like, everything like matches up, and like, this is a great game. I'm just pleased.
It's one of those moments where you're just like, everything is perfect. Like, it's,
Dude, when I fucking put Persona 5 in for the first time, like, I was like, this is amazing.
Okay, we're going to start talking about Persona 5 now. Okay.
All right.
So, I don't even like turn-based combat at all.
Oh, it's all I want in my life.
And I love this game. I love this game.
I want in my life.
Give
it to me. All over my face, neck, and chest. Give me that turn battle fucking load.
I don't even like it. There's a lot of things that I didn't like about it, but at the end of the day, like, I still kept coming back to it, and I was staying up till fucking 4 a.m. and just going as far as I could.
So good.
Coming back the next day, immediately keep going. Just kept drawing me back. I don't know what it was, but it did it. Probably cute girls.
Sure.
But
have you come around to Makoto Nijima being the greatest girl of all time? The greatest thing to happen to mankind of all time.
Would not go that far. She's great. Not the greatest. I'm stuck. Man, it's the best girl question is the question of all ages.
All ages, but there's such a clear answer though. That's the problem with this question. It's such a clear answer
because she was such a bitch in the early game.
Oh, but she was so cute. Walking around with her little manga book, following you in the world.
She's pretty cute though. But you know who's really cute? Is Haru.
Haru? You switched to Haru?
Dude, Haru's adorable. She's adorable. I love her.
If you like paper bags.
Oh my god. Oh no, don't even start with me. Oh my god.
Oh my god, no. Haru. I thought you were going to be Futaba 100%. I
did my first playthrough, I did Futaba only because actually I don't remember why. She is really cute though.
I like Futaba. She's kind of too small.
Like I hate her personality, like realistically. But she's just a meme lord.
She's so endearing to me. I'm like, "Oh, you're just adorable."
She's adorable, but like in real life, I would just be like, "Fuck off! Like, what are you doing?" But oh my god, see, every single time, it's just like, you know, you could really like a girl for like her looks or whatever, but then the personality kicks in. It's just like, oh, I want to like you so bad, but
actually, I did on my second playthrough.
Yeah,
and she's adorable in the dating scenes.
I did my second playthrough. I dated everybody.
Oh yeah,
I did the harem run.
Yeah. The ending of the harem run is amazing.
Yeah,
I love it so much. And fucking what's his face? The guy who the guy who runs the fucking cafe.
Oh, Sojiro.
Yeah. Fucking what a homie to go outside and be like, I dealt with it. I spun this crazy web of lies for you.
Yep.
You're good, man. I'm like, that's amazing.
Sojiro's the ultimate bro.
I love Sojiro so much.
I don't know about Haru because it's one of those things where it's like she's real cute and all, but like I don't know. There's like something in the back of my mind. It's just not quite right.
What was your party throughout the game?
Ooh.
Did you run the same thing every time for both playthroughs?
Yes, I think it was Morgana, Haru, and Anne.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Just because.
So you just had Morgana for healing?
Just for healing. Straight up support.
Interesting.
And then you can get Joker healing spells eventually as well. So you basically have 2 healers, but Joker does everything.
Right.
So basically 2 heals, fire damage, and then psych damage. And I think she had different status effect as well for something.
She had she was gun damage and psychic, and then she would also do she would also do like buff stuff. She would have all the buff moves.
That's Futaba, obviously, but I can't remember if I like rarely use Ryuji, rarely use Yusuke.
Yusuke is amazing. Yusuke is one of the best characters in that game.
I love him as a character. He's great.
No, like combat wise, he's unbelievable. He is so good. He's crazy. Oh. I used Morgana, Yosuke, Makoto.
Yeah.
And Morgana and Yosuke are fucking peanut butter and jelly. They work so well together. Because if you get the knockdown on with Miracle Punch, or Lucky Punch first, then you tag to Yosuke. Mm-hmm. He has I forgot the fucking first one's called, but he basically has the moves that do like high damage.
Yeah.
And then if you get a baton pass, they do the next tier up.
Oh.
So you are baton passing Yosuke all the time, and he's just blowing motherfuckers up.
Damn.
I forget what it's called. But like he gets the Colossus something. No, I forget. But yeah, he gets like these. He's like so. Oh, I love him. He's such a good party member.
Well, here's the thing. I'm also a terrible person, and so Morgana's the only utility character, and the other two are just eye candy.
Oh, okay.
It's really
fair enough. Because I've played Persona 3, 4, and 5, and for some reason always used the mascot character. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed you. I love Teddy.
Right,
loved
Teddy,
Teddy.
yeah.
Loved Teddy. I loved and I loved Koromaru, the dog from 3.
Yeah.
Dope characters. And then I just happened to pick up on Morgana. I'm like, I just like that cat's cool, I guess. Got the fucking plush behind you.
Yeah.
It's a great thing.
Yeah.
I love Morgana.
No, every single time I can always include healers in your just in general for any game. Always have healers, and lifesteal is probably always going to be OP.
Oh yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah.
Lifesteal and any kind of like self-healing effects are most likely 9 out of 10 times going to be like really, really good.
Yeah.
Just meta-wise.
Yeah, I usually was, because actually Makoto also can heal. So like I had that additional, basically I had 3 healers at all times, which is nice because I was having Yosuke just blow away health to fucking just liquefy people. And then I would just blow shit up too, and it was delightful.
But I got that biker outfit though. I can't do it.
Oh, what? Oh, big fan. Big fan of Queen. What a great fucking everything about her. I love it.
Everything was great until that stupid outfit, man. I can't.
So
it
good.
Just looks so.
She got the fucking scarf.
Goofy.
Fucking Kamen Rider hero over here. I love her.
I don't know.
That game's awesome.
It's great.
Did you do all the social links?
Yeah.
I love a lot. All of them.
think
they're all so good.
Everything included. This is on the spot, but I might have to go with Tay.
Really?
As best girl.
Because
everything fits together. Okay, goth chicks are hot. Let's be honest.
Sure.
Goth chicks are hot. Has a very noble profession and noble goal of healing people, and also dedicates her life to healing this one particular person, and does it for a good cause, selfless acts. So she's a good person at heart. She's hot, and like
her actual things in game are amazing.
Yeah.
Fucking as a
like
actual
she's good as like an actual resource because you get all the shit for half price,
and the shit she gives you is unbelievable.
Right. So great utility. I wish you could play her as a party member, but you can't. Whatever.
Amazing, you can date every female in this game. I know, because that was not the case in the other ones,
except for Sei.
Right, but she's fucking. You can't really get her even moving as a thing until way later in the plot, anyway. So, but she's cool too. I like her.
Oh. People with the mommy fetish, man. Not me, but others. Fucking
the Nijima family is just amazing. Yeah. I love those characters so much. They're so cool. Fucking so cool.
True.
The weird part about this game is in the other two, you are the clear leader.
Yeah.
But in this one, like, Makoto really pulls her weight. Like, she's, like, doing a lot of great planning. She's fucking solving problems. She's, like, doing, like, espionage work and, like, stealing shit from Sai's computer. And, like,
Futaba, too.
Yeah.
Futaba does a lot of the work.
She does a lot. She pulls a lot of weight, too. And, like, you're just kind of like a dope.
It's like, okay, I'll just go hit stuff.
I'm fucking suave and clearly the most powerful, but, like, whatever. Like, the other ones, like, you kind of, like, it felt more like you were the leader. Yeah. And this one, you're, like the option choices where it's like first one is like you're the nice guy, second one's the mean guy, and the third one's like the goofball. Yeah. I feel like the canonical answers have to be the third option every time for this character because you're just such a dope.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that.
Like you're just such a dope. Like you should just play as a goofball and like just like making weird fucking meme references and shit in class.
Oh, speaking of which, there is one thing that I have to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Beep boop. Because the Makoto thing.
Right, yes.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to meme on you.
Yeah, it's alright. I got memed on. It's fine. I made this bet. I'll land it.
Okay, good.
Oh, I love that game so much. That was I have not played a game in so long that has actually shaken my top 3 to the point where I actually knocked Metal Gear Solid 3 out of the top 3 spots. Yeah.
Damn.
Dude, I heard of a couple people who had beat the game. They're like, yeah, I'm already in my second playthrough. I'm like, really? This game's so long? Yeah. That seems so crazy. I finished the game. I got up, went to the bathroom. I'm like, I'm going to go again. Immediately just put it back in. I just started again. I'm like, this is too good. I need to keep going.
Yeah, I think I did the second playthrough all the way up until like right, or no, I might be on the last dungeon.
Okay.
No, the cruise ship one. That's where I'm on.
Okay.
During the second playthrough, so I'm almost there. But like, I did all the social links already. Like, that's pretty much all I was doing for it. I just wanted to do it social links.
I noticed that too. Like, because I going through the New Game Plus, like by Palace 7, I was like, I have like nothing to do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to bed now. Or actually, I was just working out. I kept going to the gym and just fucking getting swole as fuck.
Yeah, either way, like, you're already OP as fuck because you still have the personas from the other
One
game.
that was super weird, cute actually, was doing that. So I just went to the gym, you're just working out.
Yeah.
That has just like a small little storyline.
Does it?
Yeah, so you start on the treadmill, and then I think you go to like the arm lifts, and then you do something else, and then you're like doing like a tie thing, and then like the guy's like, "Oh man, you're really doing well. Try this thing now. Hey, you're really doing well. Try this thing now." And like you can eventually like outgrow the gym, and you can't like nothing you do there can actually upgrade you that much.
Wow.
Like there's like a cute little like progression there and a little story.
Holy
it's
shit,
like
man.
like there was everything you can do had like a little thing to it. It was fucking mwah. What a game.
Beautiful. Bellissimo.
I love it so much. I love it. Oh, God, I love the game so much. The game is so good.
Oh, wait. So what are the other two in the top three?
Final Fantasy VII and Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts 2 being the greatest game of all time.
Damn. That's a bold statement.
It's the correct statement.
Oof. Okay.
There has never been better boss designs and better fucking fight mechanics ever put in a game ever. Fucking fight me, I will literally stab anyone who disagrees.
Trying to think without getting stabbed because I still have to drive home. Can I prove you wrong? Probably not because it's opinion based, but
just go through, get the fucking collection on PS4, fucking go into, or play just Kingdom Hearts 2, get to the Chamber of Remembrance, and just do all 13 Organization 13 fights on critical, and just, you'll see the light. You'll see the light. They all 13 of those fights are so well designed. They're all unique. They all do something cool, and they require absolute perfection of every single mechanic.
Here's the other question too. What about is it a 10 out of 10 game? Absolutely perfect. There's no flaws in it. Do you consider it to be a 10 out of 10?
That's a good question. Do I? I would say, is there any flaws?
Because favorite games and perfect games are different things.
So
I think there are only a handful of real 10 out of 10s.
So the only thing I would say would affect you and not me, and that is the story doesn't make any sense because it is a middle piece to a greater story.
Right.
Kingdom Hearts has a number system that is nonsense because really
stupid.
What it all is one game. Oh. Every single one of them connects into a very specific, like things end and start up in another game.
Oh.
They're all, like, when 358/2 ends, Kingdom Hearts 2 begins.
Oh.
Like, it is Roxas running off into Twilight Town, and 2 starts with Roxas running into Twilight Town. Kingdom Hearts is a one piece.
It's one just big story.
One big story. The reason there's all these crazy side games is because it fills every possible gap that there could possibly be. So, is Kingdom Hearts 2 perfect? Hard to say, because if you just did what I just said, bought the collection today on your way home, just played 2, got to this thing, and you saw these fights, you're like, okay, I see the light. Right. Tom is right. Tom is never wrong. All praise Tom. It would the process up to that, sorry, would be confusing and weird, and you're like, what is happening? Why is it like this? Because it is just this wedge to this greater story.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't know how to properly gauge that, because if you did your homework like I did as a kid and was like following the game as it went, yes, right, but most people I knew didn't do that. They just picked up 2 and they went with it. They all enjoyed it, but they're all like, what the fuck's going on? Why is this? I'm like, it's in the other ones. You got to do this. You got to do the war. It's weird. It's like a weird.
But story aside,
perfect.
Okay.
It's flashy. It does like your anime fun craziness where like every boss fight has a thing where it's like semi-cinematic where like where they're kind of quick-timey events, but you can avoid them if you don't even want them. Some of the boss fights in this chamber thing, you don't even want to activate them because it actually causes like an opening for the enemy. Like you end the cinematic and the opening for the guy goes off to the next thing or something like that. So like it's like kind of interesting how you want to do that. Or like some of them, like you have to like like there's one thing you have to do in the Axel fight where if it's a quick time event, but it's really just a parry.
Mm-hmm.
So you're hitting the one button, you're parrying him, you knock his thing, and you start the next phase. So like there's stuff like that where it looks pretty, it's very cool. My only complaint for a while was that you could only end boss fights with finishers, but since playing it through on critical, not the case.
Oh.
There's actually an entire moveset assigned to Square.
Oh.
That they're all like feints and like knockups and stuff like that, but all of those count as finishers in this system. So you actually, if you're in the middle, so you can be in the middle of an X combo, and like one of the things you can do is one of the skills is Berserker, which is when your MP gauge is recharging, you don't finish your combo, you attack forever.
Oh.
Which sometimes really, really good, but when I was younger and I played it for the first time in the Sephiroth fight, it's like in a circular area. Mm-hmm. And I had that on, so waiting for my MP gauge to charge up so I could have my finisher, I like ran him around the arena in midair because it's anime as fuck. So I was just like air comboing him forever. Nice. But we literally just went in a circle as I waited for my thing to charge. And then I finished the fight. But you don't actually have to do that. There's actually like things that I wasn't even aware of until recently replaying it. I was like, oh, there's a literal another skill set on this other button, and like the actual So there's all these, like, have you played Kingdom Hearts ever?
The first one.
So you know, like, the abilities that you can assign yourself?
Yeah.
Most people just assign everything. But actually, you want to not sign, like, Slapshot is fucking terrible. Never put Slapshot on. It's just this very wonky, like, loose attack that, like, most of the hits don't even hit. They actually, like, it misses a few of them. So, like, stuff like that, where it's, like, the actual customization is super well designed. Mm-hmm. If you take this, if you play on normal or beginner, even proud, you probably are not even going to notice half the shit. So critical actually requires you to like really investigate what does this game have to offer, what abilities do I have, which keyblades do I want to use. Yeah. And like in the first one, you just want to use the one with the higher number, but because they added a secondary, so one of the abilities that you can like attach to yourself sometimes come on the keyblade. So sometimes that allows you to not use a point, or maybe only this ability exists on this keyblade. Right. So you're going to want to use this keyblade for this fight. Right. Maybe this because like in the Axel fight, people will use the Atlantica one because it does bonus damage to Blizzard. Yeah. So now you can use Blizzard and hurt him a little bit more, and then sometimes you'll hit him with a Blizzard, he goes into hit stun, now you have an opening to do this thing, and you can do that. The floor is on fire, by the way, in this fight, so you have to actually make sure you have to activate things quickly enough. Yeah. But like you can't die if you have second chance on because it's not a big enough hit, so you can do the whole fight at like 1 health. It's like a lot of like real min-maxy, like trying to figure out as a game, it's so well done. There's so much design decisions as like an action. If you're making an action RPG, you should be looking at Kingdom Hearts 2 and like how much customization, and like also like the opposite of Sonic. Anytime I hit a button, it does what I fucking want it to. I feel correct. I feel like when I feel like
I'm correct. Like
movement is just so smooth. You can actually upgrade and customize your movement with the different drive forms. If you don't want to level some drive forms, you don't get some movement abilities. But if you do, you can get them better and they get stronger, and like every movement ability, so every drive form has a movement ability, but the movement ability goes to 4 in the drive form, but 3 in the overworld. So if you want a better version of Glide, you have to activate Final Form so that you can now use faster Glide for whatever reason you want to do that. Yeah. Or like it's very, very interesting. Watching people who play it at like a top level, and they're fucking like they're making it so that the bosses don't even activate their limit breaks because they get them in a hit stun trap and shit. And it's like the fact that that exists, so you can if you want to, you can do a perfect min-max, perfect frame perfect battle, or you can just go and do exactly what the game designers intend for you to do. But both are perfectly viable. Both are perfectly fun to try to pull off. I can't speak higher enough about this game. It's so well done. Every play style is viable. My one friend plays more Magic than I do, and I'm like, that's crazy. I would never think to do that, but I thought about it, like, yeah, no, that makes sense. That's a possible thing to do. That works.
No, that is good game design when every build is viable.
Yeah.
That's how you know you got it.
It's so fucking cool.
If one is like noticeably more difficult or easier than the other, then you failed as a game designer.
And I don't even know how much you could say about that too, because like I don't know if I would want to play a Magic build in Kingdom Hearts 2, but like because it would require my literal playstyle to change. Yeah. Because my playstyle is far more X based, like auto combos and shit. So it's like very cool, where it's like your mentality could be like, no, right here I need to use fire, but I would never think to do that.
Right.
You know, it's just like, because like it's so fucking well done.
Because the second the game forces you into a specific play style, is just, it gets terrible.
Yeah. And like every once in a while, I get stuck on some of these fights and these organization fights, and I'd look it up, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, try doing this attack." And I was like, "Oh no, that makes sense." Like if I just use fire here on the Demix fight, because like he throws like water clones at you, and you have to destroy X amount of number of them before a time limit runs out, or then you lose the fight.
Yeah.
And like if you just use fire, you create like this big aura around you, and you can kind of just cause more damage. If you go into final form, your aura is bigger because you have 2 keyblades. You can create a bigger like circle, and you can cause more damage faster, stuff like that. So like stuff like that, where it's like just these small details of like, oh, if I trigger this at this right time, I can get. I loved the game, and then was blown the fuck away when I did this playthrough on Critical. I was like, this is just fucking crispy. Mwah.
Crispy.
Mwah. I love you, Kingdom Hearts 2.
All right, then I guess I'll have to do that. Shit. I still have to beat the first one. Fuck.
First one is I have in recent times have become like a small expert on the Kingdom Hearts 1.
Right, because of the lore.
Not even just the lore. The actual game I can probably do in 6 hours.
Damn. That's impressive.
Because I just know exactly where to go, and I can do it in the fastest route possible. If you actually replay the first one, do it on beginner. As soon as you're allowed to use your inventory, go into your items. You have 13 attack ups and 13 defense ups. Spam the shit out of that. You're one-hitting shadows for like the first 3 worlds.
Damn.
You'll just blow through the fucking game.
Jesus Christ, man. It's nuts.
I love Kingdom Hearts.
So
I love it.
It's a 10 out of 10. Okay. All
Kingdom Hearts is my Gravity Rush. It's just everything is so well put together.
See, I wouldn't even consider Gravity Rush 10 out of 10 though. I love it. It's my favorite game, but it's not a 10 out of 10.
See, that's why I've never been a huge fan of numbering things when it comes to games. Fair. It's tough to say because I don't know. It's weird.
Because and what I mean by 10 out of 10 is like everything works together. It's not necessarily perfect, but like it works together in an overall excellent package. Okay. So like the sound is good, like the design and the aesthetics work together. Everything works together in one like coherent package, and there's no like inherent flaws about it.
Okay,
if that makes more sense.
No, that makes sense because that's a lot like Final Fantasy VIII is a lot like that.
Yeah,
every mechanic, everything you can do, is a cog in this perfect wheel that affects the next thing.
Right.
But I personally just don't like it. I don't like that machine that it's running. You know.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Objectively, I can sit back and go, that game's fucking amazing.
Right.
Like the design of that is like impressive. It's so impressive that you can, at any moment, you decide to go play Triple Triad for 2 hours. That is now making you better for battle because you now have more cards to then turn into things that let you. It's crazy. Everything just works so well. Everything flows so perfectly. But I don't like the machine. It's running.
Right.
You know. So I get that. I get where it's like you be like objectively, this is perfectly like mechanically well done.
I think there's like only a handful of games that are genuine 10 out of 10s, and like with no like within the context there are no discernible flaws.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Portal 1, although it's short, everything works together.
Right.
Okay, it's a puzzle game, but it's still unique and it's still engaging.
Mm-hmm.
It works together perfectly with the gameplay and mixes gameplay and aesthetics.
Mm-hmm.
It's because the aesthetics of the thing is crucial to it because the portal walls are white.
Right.
And that's the only thing you can do. You interact with it based on the aesthetics of the game.
Oh, that's actually really interesting because the fact that it's orange and blue, the 2 colors that the human eye are so appealed to.
It's the contrast.
Yeah. So it's.
And.
Because that's why all movie posters are orange and blue.
Yeah.
Because those are the 2 ones that, like, even the fucking poster behind you, actually, that Final Fantasy one, it's orange and blue.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Shoot.
The Pacific Rim one, it's orange and blue.
Damn.
Because those are the 2 colors that like human eyes are just so like they appeal to so much.
Well, shit.
So that makes sense. They would do everything's white, but the portals are orange and blue.
Right.
Yellow is the first color the human eye can see. But you have the 2, so you would
look at me learning things. Wow.
That's why the Simpsons, Pikachu, these things are yellow because the human eyes. That's the first thing the human eye is drawn to.
Damn.
So a lot of character designs are gonna be yellow. Jake the dog.
Okay.
You know, whatever.
Damn, I didn't think about that.
So you look at a lot of cartoon characters, someone's probably gonna be yellow, if not the entire cast, like in The Simpsons or something.
Right. Damn. Well.
Color design.
Shit. Yeah. I mean, I knew basic color design. That's only just like red versus blue.
Right. Yeah.
Just like red is inherently more evil and violent, and you're supposed you know all that shit.
Which is something I really liked about Overwatch, where that you always played blue team.
Right.
Like, that's so nice. So then, like, eventually, there wasn't... Because, like, when I first started playing Counter-Strike, you have to get in the mindset of, like, I am on the terrorist side. I can't hesitate when I see a counter-terrorist. Even though we just played 15 rounds as counter-terrorists, those are now the bad guys. I gotta shoot them. So it took me a second to get used to that.
Right.
Whereas in Overwatch, it was subconscious. I just knew you shoot the red guy.
Yeah.
The guy has a red aura, you shoot
clearly
him.
Red.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, and it wasn't like... like, sometimes I would watch... Like, they've recently changed it for the Overwatch League. Every team has a color.
Oh.
It's fucking sick. Like, I was watching the World Cup. Mm-hmm. Korea is just white. They play white characters.
Like they have the aura.
No, their armor is white.
Oh, shit.
Like, they gave them unique, like, armor to make them white.
That's dope.
And then all the French teams were blue. And they had a different color blue. It wasn't that lighter blue. It was like a darker blue.
But did they still have the auras?
Probably for the them in-game, but for like a spectator.
Yeah.
They had the auras, too, of that color. But they were like, you could tell so easily. Because back in the day when the game first came out for like spectating, they would switch the colors. Mm-hmm. So it was like, this team is playing red, this team plays blue, and then they go. And so it was like kind of hard to be like, oh, right, okay, so that's what that is that. Because it was not like that. But now, like, every team in this Overwatch League, every one of them, you'll notice if you look at their roster, every one of them has a color. Because that is the color their armor is going to be.
Damn.
And that's going to be like, oh, okay, I'm watching fucking Outlaws. I like to root for them. I just root for the green guys. They're the ones going around in green. I can just tell. Like, it's...
Yeah.
They took them a while, but they're doing the right things.
Good.
It's very interesting, but yeah, it's cool. What other games would you put as 10 out of 10?
10 out of 10. Portal 1. NBA Street 2.
Interesting choice. I've never played it.
It's literally perfect.
Really?
Like, okay. Even though the graphics are not, 8th gen Uncharted 4 tier.
Which, by the way, let me just say, sometimes that blew me away.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god.
Like, I was like, wow, this looks like a human.
Right.
Like, we have passed the Uncanny Valley. We are reaching perfection with this.
Right. Like, at this point, it's just diminishing returns in terms of getting more graphics.
Dude, it was crazy. Some of them I was like, this is like the Sam? Yeah. Whoever was in his mocap suit, like, they nailed that shit. Yeah. He had perfect facial animations, and like his body moved normally, and like it was the fucking sweat like was in realistic places. I was like, crazy. This is so well done. Continue.
No, I do love Uncharted. It has a soft spot. Anyway, even if you never played it, okay. So the graphics are GameCube tier, obviously. So there's polygons, you can see it. But here's the thing. The way that it works out aesthetically, you don't notice it.
Oh, interesting.
Because if you try to focus too much on graphics over aesthetics, it shows.
Right.
Because then you'll clearly, like Metal Gear 1, for example, right? Mm-hmm. It's not aesthetically bad for any reason, but like if you had, let's say, Metal Gear 1 Solid Snake, where his face is just 2 polygons, right? If you had that in like an all-white background, right? That's a bad aesthetic.
Right.
Since he blends in with the dark and gray and white of Shadow Moses, it works.
Right. If you're going to do a style, stick to the style.
Exactly.
Because then it's noticeable, because it looks like a mistake if you don't.
Right. So this game sticks perfectly to the style, has easy, like low skill floor, high skill ceiling, which is definitely important in a multiplayer game. Mm-hmm. Interesting single player mode, definitely replayable. Highly replayable multiplayer, excuse me. The music obviously is pretty subjective, but it fits well with it.
Okay.
It's like, this early 2000s, like hip hop, whatever. The roster of players you can choose are a mix of original characters, once again, very memorable, lovable characters, and, NBA All-Stars, all the way from like 2005 all the way to like the 40s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Obviously, it's not everybody, but it's like the big names.
People that stuck it out, yeah.
Also, 2004, 2005 was the golden age of basketball. So, it works out perfectly because it was made in 2005. And what else? Yeah, it's just fun. It's just a fun game. And like, it's balanced. Like, it's replayable. It's fun. It's engaging.
I've heard people talk about the Street series in like high regards. I've never played it.
Like, I don't even you can play any NBA 2K game and then this game, and it's a completely different experience. Like, NBA 2K games are very like, we're trying to simulate the experience as much as we can.
Like, this is
pure, just like, we want to have this fun, wacky basketball game, and just everyone have a good time with it, even if you don't like, follow the stats and all that shit. Like, this is just NBA Jam, pretty much.
Right.
But even if you don't love basketball, it's still really fun, and it's nice.
Look, I don't really care about soccer, but I think Mario Strikers is one of the best soccer games.
Exactly.
It's so fun.
Like, you don't have to give a shit about soccer to enjoy Mario Strikers.
Right.
You don't have to give a shit about basketball to enjoy NBA Street 2.
So yeah, I can totally see that where it's like, because like if you do like Mario Strikers, you just turn off the nonsense and just play like a soccer game.
Yeah.
Oh my God, talk about some competition,
fun, right?
Talk about some competition. Yeah, that's a good time.
So it's one of those. And
are you part of that Ocarina of Time as a 10 out of 10?
That's tough.
Train?
It's really tough. I really love it, but it's not a 10 out of 10.
I was impressed when I played. I didn't play it till the 3DS version, so I played it like 4 years ago.
Okay. I played it actually on the Wii. It was virtual. I got on the virtual console because I didn't have an N64 growing up.
I didn't either, yeah. So that's why I missed it.
So I played it when I was probably like 15 maybe.
Okay.
But like at that time I was like, I kept hearing all this shit about it. It's like it's in every top 10 list.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well I gotta play it. And then I really did love it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did a second playthrough a couple months ago actually. And I still enjoyed it, obviously, but there are a couple of flaws. Definitely there are some aesthetic flaws. For the most part, it does a good job, but there are a lot of times where it's the same analogy as like Solid Snake on the white background.
Right, yeah.
It's like you can clearly tell this is very polygonal and it doesn't blend into the environment and it just looks stupid. So things like that, things like the water temple. The water temple gets a lot of shit for
it gets
some of it's deserved, some of it's not.
It's very fixed in the 3DS version.
Oh, it is.
Because your inventory is on the bottom screen.
Oh, I heard you could use iron boots as a C item, right?
Yeah, well, I just kept tapping it. I could turn them on and off with a touchscreen.
Okay.
So it was...
Because that is... The iron boots was the first, on the N64 version at least.
Right.
There's the iron boots because you have to go into the inventory.
Which takes a second because it's loading forever. And
every single time.
Yeah.
And it's a frequent thing because that's like the entire gimmick of the whole temple.
Right.
And so pretty much the issue is, for me on my second playthrough, I noticed, was that everything is the 3 levels of water in the main temple room.
Mm-hmm.
And there are all these keys scattered around through other rooms, whatever. I was missing one key, right? And so you have to go and scour through every single room. You have to change the water level and go into the room and do this and turn the water in the iron boots and like I must have gone through each room at least 3 times, changed the water levels, did all this shit, iron boots every single time. I still didn't find it. And it was in the main, like, spoiler alert, I guess, for a 1998 game. In the main room, the first major room of the temple, there's like that huge column where you can change the water level, and you have to like jump up on the platforms. It's under one of the floating platforms.
Oh, okay.
And it's like there's nothing in there that suggests that it would be there.
Right. Okay.
Nothing in the game previously up to that point would like even
lead you to think that
would ever happen.
Right.
So it's just one of those like yeah. So that kind of stands out as one of those things. Just like that's just stupid.
Yeah. There was some things in that game that did impress me though. With like I can't remember which temple it was, but I'd like move. You have to like move like walls or something. And it was like I want to say it was almost like a Lazy Susan. There was like partitions and you had to like move walls or something. Because what I remember noticing was there were scratch marks on the floor. So there was nothing else indicating in that room that I need to move the wall except for the fact that the floor was scraped, meaning that those walls have moved before. And I was like, oh, what a great way for me to learn that this is how I'm supposed to do this.
Right. And like in the water temple, there was nothing.
Yeah.
It's just like, go fuck yourself unless you happen to like happenstance find this thing under this thing that you're supposed, like it leads you to believe you have to, for example, it's not even leading to believe you have to stand on this platform in order to progress through the level and do this thing and raise the water level. There's nothing to lead you to believe that it would be under there.
Right.
Like everything else around it is spikes.
Right.
So you're like, all you can see physically is just spikes everywhere around it. You can't see under the platform.
Right.
Though.
Okay.
So it's just one of those things.
Yeah, that's
mostly my main gripe with it. Just because I got stuck in it because I was like, I'm not going to use a guide. Can't do it.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking through all these rooms. It took me an extra fucking hour and a half or whatever it was. And eventually I'm just like, all right, I give up. Like, I'm just gonna check the guide. And I was like, God damn it! Like, it was under there the whole time. So aside from that, though, I guess it was okay. I just hate those spiders. Oh my god, those fucking spiders on top of the water.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't remember
yeah.
what they're called. Oh, this just freaked me out. I hate spiders.
Do you really?
I hate bugs in general.
Okay.
Just.
I think I have that weird multi-hole phobia.
What do you mean?
You ever heard of that? Where some people get uncomfortable when they see things with a lot of holes. And I think I have that.
All right.
Because there's a gun in Destiny. It's like a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
And it shoots multiple things. It's like a carpet bomb basically.
Yeah.
But it has a bunch of fucking holes in it, and I'm like, for some reason, I just feel like a drop in my
makes you
stomach when I see that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I feel that. Yeah.
like it's not gonna stop me. Like I can't like, oh my god, I need to like go fucking lay down and I'm done for the day. But it's like I do feel like my hair stands on end. I'm like, this is weird. I don't like this.
Yeah, I definitely get that.
It's weird.
But
like it's a bunch of small circles. That's for some reason the phobia.
Yeah. But I think Ocarina is definitely a 9.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not quite a 10. There's just a lot of like little tiny things. It's a lot of nitpicking. I'm gonna be honest with you, but like, I don't know. I don't know. It's tough. It's definitely a 9. I don't know if it's quite a 10. The music is great. The music versus, Ocarina versus like Majora's Mask, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, because I'm playing through Majora's Mask right now, actually, for the second time, and there's just this sinking feeling that I can't get rid of, that like Ocarina of Time feels like the main adventure, and it's like the original, and Majora's Mask feels like a side quest. It's like not quite.
Isn't it a direct sequel though?
It's supposed to be, but it just, I don't know. I can't explain it. It's just
I've never played Majora's Mask. I've heard good things.
Good.
And I want to try it.
Good. So
I did enjoy my time with Ocarina, but
it's very similar in many, many ways. I mean, it's a Zelda game, so they're all pretty similar.
They're only a couple years apart too, right? Where's the development
2 years, I think.
Yeah, okay.
But you just like can't shake this like weird underlying feeling that like, even though it's a sequel, it doesn't quite capture the magic, I guess. It's super subjective, and I know I'm being a piece of shit about it, but yeah.
I mean, I definitely thought there was, parts of Ocarina of Time where I was like, eh.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. I'm not like having to run around the fucking field for the ninth time. I'm like, I don't care about this.
Yeah.
I don't care about the fucking rock people, all that shit. Like, whatever.
Right. Yeah, definitely. The fact that like Epona, for example, was hidden behind this like garbage side quest that you had to beat. I can't remember his name. The owner of the ranch.
Oh, right.
Did you do that? Yeah. You got Epona, right?
I don't remember.
Oh,
maybe. It's right there. I could boot it up and see what I have. I have no idea, but I didn't even know I had that. I found it in something else. I was like, oh shit. So
nice. Well, in order to get the horse, in order to cross Hyrule Field quicker, because it's a fucking chore.
Yeah.
Then you have to go through the side quest, and so you have to get like 10, 20 gold or rupees. What am I doing? Gold, rupees. Give it to the guy. He challenges you to a race. You do the race around the track.
Yeah.
But you're also using N64 control. Oh, I mean, I am not. No, you aren't. But N64 controls, and you still have no idea what you're doing because it's like the first time you're using Epona.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to like actually use like inside cornering and all this shit. And like as like a 10-year-old, you're like, what?
I mean, that's cute that they encourage something like that, like actual mastery over it. I guess the only complaint I'd have is that how fast can you retry?
Right, exactly. That's where it gets annoying. Because, like, I have no problem with the race itself, I guess. It's more just, like, if you fail, then you have to get another 20 rupees and then come back. And I think it's 2 races, not just 1. If I remember correctly. I could be wrong, though. But, yeah, it's more the retrying is a pain than the actual thing itself. Just that...
Because that's something I've noticed that I don't like is when you do fail something and it's like takes you an extra second to go back and do it. Where like I've been playing Cuphead, even though I had to stop once my computer died. I haven't gone back to it, but like that is fail, restart, right back in there.
Right.
Like there's no real downtime of like, okay, I didn't get to the boss. All right, now I'm gonna go through the level again, get back to the boss. Oh, I failed the same part again. Fuck, I don't really know what the difference is. Let me try that again. So like it's like right back in there, right back on it.
Right.
Get at it. Like
I definitely appreciate it. Like San Andreas, for example. I've been in the middle of San Andreas playthrough again. And in like GTA 4 and 5, you fail a mission, you just pull up your phone, it's like retry mission, okay, you're back in it.
Right.
San Andreas, like the train mission, for example, you follow the whole goddamn thing.
So to follow
all
the
the way to
goddamn
the
train.
end. You're like, yeah, I had to follow the goddamn train, but I didn't. Well, not good enough for smoke.
Yeah.
And like, obviously, this entire mission takes you fucking all the way across this gigantic map, and there's no retry button, and you have to drive all the way back and then fail again because it's garbage. And then
I never had tons of trouble with that mission. I maybe failed like twice, but I don't think it was that. I don't remember having that much trouble.
I got caught up. I'll tell you why. I got caught up in it because I thought you're supposed to follow it as closely as you possibly could.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, if the train is right in front of you, I'm like on the very like frontmost right corner, like touching the side of the train, close to it. And I didn't realize that was not the right thing to do because I thought you were supposed to do that for as long as possible. And at that point where you like go on a side path or something and you go over it, you're supposed to jump onto the train. Oh, that's what I thought you were supposed to do. Yeah. Apparently, and then eventually I got sick of it because I kept, doing this downtime shit. And I looked it up, and it's just the secret isn't just to stay as close as possible; it's to stay as close as possible in front of the train, but on the other side of the track, so that he has a clear shot.
Right.
It's not just like, be as close as possible. It's keep up with it, but also stay on the opposite side of the two tracks.
Right. Okay.
So I eventually got it, so it's fine. But
that would be what San Andreas is one of the games that, personally for me, not my favorite, but I would say it's one of the best games ever made. I love San Andreas.
I also do.
Like, San Andreas is still, to this day, the only game I've ever beaten and wanted DLC.
Damn.
Like, when that game ends and they're all sitting on the table and they're talking about the next thing they're going to do.
Yeah.
And then the game ends, I'm like, fuck, I want to do everything you guys just said. I want every fucking thing you just... That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I was seriously missing that game was just over.
Yeah, I mean, okay, if you want to talk about good DLC, you really need to play this fucking Witcher game, man.
Oh, yeah, I hear those are all amazing.
Okay, so, spoiler-free, I guess, because it's still relatively new, but, the main game, the storyline is pretty, I don't want to say generic, it's a bad word for it, but, you kind of see everything coming. But then you start up these new DLCs, and I swear to God, it's an entire game
within itself, right?
Within itself.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it's one of those things where, you get so engrossed in something, and you're just like, oh, it's 8 hours later, and I forgot to eat and sleep. You know what I mean? It's one of those.
Yeah.
Where it's just, I finished just one of the two DLCs. It took me fucking 14 hours.
That's
and
so
I think
awesome.
it was just one of the main quests of this DLC, not even the whole thing. It took me 14 hours to do this thing. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, I forgot to, eat and do anything today and be productive. And I felt like I just had beaten an entire game.
That's so cool.
It was nuts.
That's so cool.
So
I love CD Projekt Red. They're so cool. They're such nice people. Apparently, they're not the greatest people to work for, but I think I'm just cringe and people are complaining about having to work 15-hour days, which is understandable.
Yeah, that's fair.
But they've just been... To put that shit out, it's crazy.
I just want Cyberpunk 2077 now.
I can't wait to see what they do next.
I know.
I assume that's going to be the next thing that actually comes out, and I don't know if they're going to just release something in between, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be jumping on whatever it is, because I want to support them. They seem like they're just doing video games right.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
If they get Cyberpunk 2077 right, then it might be the best game ever. if they nail it, no complaints from anybody, the combat's perfect, they fix all the flaws of Witcher 3.
I was watching someone play Witcher 3, and they fucking nailed Witcher combat.
You think so?
Per the books, the way they're supposed to fight is almost like a dance. And I was watching someone play, I was like, fuck, they're killing it.
They're killing it.
That looks dope as fuck. It looks perfectly accurate.
Yeah.
At least in my head, the way I imagined it. So, it's... They definitely seem to pay attention to detail.
Yeah. I mean, I can't, V, for example, just always gets into fucking arguments about it, but the combat's fine for me. It's the common complaint is Witcher sense, because you can just, press L1 or L2 or something, and, all the footprints glow red, and you know exactly where to go, and the scent will show up in the air and whatever, from the Arkham Asylum games.
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing.
Yeah, they have that in Horizon
detective
too.
mode. Yeah. I did play Horizon. I don't know. I just couldn't get into it.
I beat the whole thing. It was alright.
It was alright.
I had more fun.
Way overhyped.
It was a little bit overhyped. I had way more fun.
Agree on that. It was fun, but it wasn't that. It wasn't like a 10 out of 10.
No, yeah, I had way more fun running around collecting the nonsense. And as soon as I had unlocked, I collect everything, and then I was like, oh, well, I've lived the story.
Yeah.
Welp.
Like all these people are giving it 10 out of 10s. I'm just like,
people think it's the game of the year, which I think is fucking insane.
I do not believe that at all.
It's 2017. Fucking Persona 5 came out.
Persona 5 came out. This is
Nier Automata came out. I haven't played that. People like that a lot.
Okay, Nier Automata is a touchy subject for me because I love Platinum games. I love character action games. And I did enjoy it, but if you don't do any side quests and you just straight up, like grind main quest missions, you could beat the first playthrough in 10 hours.
So are you familiar with Nier and Drakengard?
No.
They're fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they all have
I hear that
7 endings.
Yeah.
And the actual, if you ever want to lose your mind, look up the Drakengard timeline.
Oh, Jesus.
Because it is not just Drakengard 1, 2, and 3, Nier and Nier Automata. It is Drakengard 1, Drakengard 2, several books, a stage play, a radio play, then Drakengard 3, which is a prequel to the Drakengard game. It's insane. There are so many things that is just, light novels are in there somewhere. It's fucking crazy.
Jesus.
Like, it's just such a nonsense, because fucking Yoko Taro is like, I just fucking do they had an interview with him, and they're like, you've done plays, you've done games, what would be the next thing you want to do for this series? He's like, people are going to think I'm joking, but I want to do an adult film.
Oh my God.
And I think he's 100% going to do an adult film for fucking the Drakengard series. I totally believe it, because he just does things for this canon. Like,
dude, it's 2B porno. Ooh, baby.
Have you heard why she looks like that?
Wait, who?
2B? Why she looks like that?
Why?
Because he just likes pretty women.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, Yoko Taro was just like, I just like hot chicks. Like, I don't know. Everyone's like, all right, Yoko Taro. I saw him in person.
Did you really?
Yeah, he didn't have his helmet on. So I saw what he looked like. It was weird. It was like, I saw him walking around at PAX East, and like, the big head is so stupid.
Yeah.
And like, so he has to have handlers like walk him around.
Yeah.
Because he's blind as fuck in this stupid fucking rubber helmet. And then they brought him into the back of the Square Enix booth, and I was like, walking to a line or something. I was doing something where I was also behind the booth, and he came out holding it. I was like, oh, the illusion, but also like, it's Yoko Taro. Like, do I take a picture? Like, he doesn't have the helmet. I feel rude.
Right, yeah. Actually, there's a funny interview with him when Persona 5 came out, because Nier Automata came out like right around the same time Persona 5 did, and he does this interview where I think Square Enix? No, whoever the developers for Persona were.
Atlas?
Yeah, it might have been Atlas. Brought him in and did this interview, and it was like, how do you feel about Persona 5? And he's like, and he pulls out this perceptual map.
Oh, I saw something like that. Yeah. That was amazing.
And he's like, this is exactly where my very niche game falls. This is where Persona 5 is. Persona 5 is this incredible game, and it's going to skill all of my customers. So please stop.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, he was like, he was like, and so in return, the next Nier game will be a high school drama. Right. It's like, this is clearly the demographic that people want. So the next one, yeah, it was awesome. He's so self-aware. He's having so much fun.
I love it.
He's just fucking awesome.
So. Yeah, but Nier Automata, though, I beat the first playthrough. I was like, oh, okay, 10 hours, that's whatever. I guess I could deal with that. And then, apparently the whole shtick of it is that you're supposed to do like multiple all these different playthroughs. Yeah. And you start the second one, and it's 9S.
Yeah, you play as different character.
You play as 9S.
Yeah.
And it's the same exact thing. I thought it was going to be like, eventually you get to play as A2, and you get to see like her side of the story, and like, you do all this crazy shit as A2 and whatever. But for the second playthrough, it was like 9S, which I know has been here 100% of the game that I've already just done. And plus you have hacking missions now. And I was just like, I do not feel like doing this for another 10 hours. Like, I just got really discouraged, and I was just like, nope, I'm done. Like, so
I have.
If it weren't for the second playthrough, then I would probably love it.
Yeah.
But just the fact that I had to do it again as 9S and also hacking missions, even though like it's literally just the same exact thing. Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that being frustrating. It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
The way the Nier and Drakengard games work is nonsense. Like I can see the weirdness of it. Like I have all of them but Nier Automata, I think. Yeah, I have all of them but Nier Automata, and like I want to get through them eventually, but there is that level of commitment where you're like, all right, I have to play this at least more than once.
Yeah.
You know, like I know for Nier, I want to say Nier is 3 endings. Or it's 4. It might be 4 playthroughs to get the final ending. And it's like the first one and the second one are very different.
Mm-hmm.
And like the third one is identical to the ones before. And it's like a 25-hour game or something.
Jesus.
And then the fourth playthrough, or the very end of the third playthrough, shows you like the crazy thing that everyone loves about the first Nier.
Yeah.
So it's like, a lot of people say like, play it twice through.
Yeah.
Watch a Let's Play for the last bits. Because it's just going to be, unless you're super, I guess the story is really well done, but the combat sucks.
Yeah.
So like,
I keep hearing Nier 1 has this garbage gameplay.
Yeah, that's why everyone was so stoked when Platinum said they were on for Nier Automata, because they're like, oh, the fucking cool story from Yoko Taro, and then good gameplay from Platinum.
Exactly.
Thank God. So everyone kind of got what they wanted, but it is super weird.
Yeah, I mean, because I did enjoy the combat. The only gripe about it was the aesthetic argument comes back, because everything is very, very, like, washed out and brown and gray.
Yeah, I did notice a lot of browns.
Story-wise, it makes sense,
mm-hmm.
but when you're talking about a video game, it doesn't quite work, because everything blends together. Like, even 2B just kind of blends into the background, but not in a good way.
Right.
And so everything just looks pretty much the same, and obviously, canonically, it's supposed to look like that. But
that's tough for a
fine
game.
Line. It's a fine line.
Like in a movie that works because you're only dealing with that for 2 hours.
Right.
But in a game, it's 10 hours.
Right.
Sometimes more.
And you have to interact with the environment.
Right,
and
yeah.
you have to, like the map, for example, if I remember correctly, I just remember not liking the map because everything looked exactly the same and you had no idea where you were.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd have to there's all these fast travel points and whatnot, but you'd have no frame of reference. You'd have no idea where you are.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
And just
yeah, I was watching
just little things like that. Just kind of took away from.
I was watching just some video, and he had Nier Automata play gameplay in the background.
Yeah, and
he was just running around doing shit, but nothing like really serious. I had no idea what was happening. I couldn't tell where he was, if he was going in a circle, if he was going in a special direction. Yeah. Like I couldn't tell because a lot of it is like he's running through this broken building, jumping to that broken building, and now he's on this field, and now he's in another. It's like it's very much everything looks very similar.
Yeah,
so I can kind of see that can be annoying.
The other thing is it'll randomly transition to a bullet hell game.
Oh, okay.
So
fun.
It's like that's also kind of a gray area because if you're expecting that, then great, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
If you just want like a Bayonetta clone, then it's not fun. But that's the other common complaint is now hardcore Nier fans have to meet Platinum fans, and they have to, be harmonious together.
Well, I've heard some of the stuff with, Drakengard 3. I guess the Drakengard series are kind of like Dynasty Warriors clones.
Yeah, most
yeah, stuff like that. They have that kind of similar style. But the last boss, spoilers for Drakengard 3, is a rhythm game. And, no one was fucking ready for that.
That's so funny.
It's kind of like a meme that everyone kind of just, will just be like, oh, but that last boss fight Drakengard 3, right? And it's yeah, I guess, but it's weird, it's just it's
going to randomly change the genre on you.
Yeah, night and day, you're doing a different thing. So I can see that being frustrating.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess it's not for everybody. It's definitely that. I don't know. I feel so bad not finding everything to be correct with it because I want to like it, but just ugh.
I'll get to it eventually. When I get through the rest of
I don't know
this nonsense series. I do want to play Persona 4 again. So my life is a nightmare.
I'm just gonna watch all of the social link videos just on YouTube. I
just want to get the platinum again.
Because I had this incredible realization while I was playing Persona 5, which is that the Persona games are literally Pokemon with waifus.
Yeah, it's a grown-up Pokemon, yeah.
It's the best thing ever. It's the best thing ever. It's Pokemon with waifus.
I have learned... So like we were saying, your genre would be character action. The genre that actually resonates with me the most is fucking animal collecting.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's not a lot of them, so I didn't realize
not a lot
this.
of them.
But I am obsessed with it. Okay. I was playing Digimon Cyber Sleuth, which is basically Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's have you ever played any Digimon game?
Digimon games? No, I don't think so.
So there's two very different types. There's the Digimon World, which play I don't even know how to explain them. They're fucking nightmares. You basically have one Digimon at a time, and I don't know how to make it happen, but you can't command them until a certain point. So you just kind of go, you got it. And then hope to God they fucking do anything. But eventually, there's something you can do, and you can command them exactly what moves. I have no idea how it works. Digimon World fucking sucks. Digimon Cyber Sleuth, which is the Digimon story games, are turn-based RPGs with 3 Digimon.
Okay.
So Digimon Cyber Sleuth is a Digimon story game. And so many times, I would just be moving through the plot, and then I would wake up out of a fucking trance and go, I've been running around for a half hour just grinding different monsters. Like, I'm literally just filling out my Pokédex for no reason. I don't need any of these things I'm doing. I was just, like, going around like, oh, what does that one look like? Oh, my God, what am I doing here still? Like, just fucking falling right into this rabbit hole. And, like, it's just, there's something about collecting nonsense that just fucking...
So, do you like collectathons, though?
Not exactly.
Okay.
I enjoyed it in Horizon because it was done well and it was limited.
What about like Banjo-Kazooie?
I've never played that.
If it's like a straight up just like go through the level and collect all the things in the level, not necessarily like a Pokemon thing where you have to like go find it and then you beat it and then you catch it, that's, I don't know. But, you know, things like Banjo-Kazooie, it's like a platformer, but everything is right there. Like if you can make the jumps, it's right there.
I've never played those. Like
or like Ukulele.
Yeah, I've never played that either. Because I enjoyed it in Horizon, but I fucking hate collecting things in the Assassin's Creed games.
Oh, yeah.
So, but those are done poorly. Yeah. So, like, that is like, here's way too much just to pad this game out. Like, whereas in, like, Horizon, it was like, I don't know, I want to clear out my map. I'm going to just walk in this direction, I'll pick up everything on the way, you know?
Yeah.
So, it's definitely, I don't know. I definitely like the idea of, like, a training thing. Mm-hmm. Where like you actually have to like raise the thing you're doing. So that's why I think I was more into Digimon and Pokemon stuff. But Digimon Cyber Sleuth is definitely the best Pokemon game to come out in the last 2 years.
Damn.
Sun and Moon sucks ass.
Dude, I haven't played a Pokemon game since Blue version.
I've played every single one that has come out since 1998.
Damn.
Every mainline one. Some of these spin-off ones I've never done. But
I know, that's a lie. I have Pokemon Coliseum.
I've never played the Coliseum or Stadium. I've played them like offhanded, but I've never done like the story mode of those.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't even really count those.
Actually, it's like kind of sort of in that same range, but there's a hidden gem called Magic Pen Gel.
Okay.
That's like it's like a Pokemon knockoff, but it's kind of its own unique thing. The premise is it's a Pokemon battle game where you draw the Pokemon.
Interesting.
With a PS2 controller.
A nightmare.
It's a nightmare. But it's like, it's also probably, I will stand by the fact that this is the comfiest game in existence.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like, no question. Everything, aesthetics, bellissimo. Oh, I love it.
What's it called?
Magic Pen Gel.
Magic Pen Gel. Okay.
For PS2. I think, I tried to buy it for myself because I played it as a kid and then I sold my PS2. But I tried to buy it again because I have a PS2 again. And I think it's like $60 on Amazon. But if you can emulate it.
Oh, okay. Good call.
I tried to emulate it, but my computer's garbage, so I can only get like 30 frames per second, even though it's a super like low intense, very non-intense, low intensity game. Yeah. Also, PS2 emulation's garbage in general.
It is pretty hit and miss.
Yeah, but if you can get it, which you probably can, I presume.
I could look into it. That sounds interesting. I'm interested in that idea.
It is.
Have you ever played Monster Rancher?
No.
Are you familiar with it?
Kind of. I know a little bit about it, but not much.
It's very similar in terms of like fucking animal collecting. Mm-hmm. But the way you find the animals is you put in different discs of movies, music, CDs, whatever, and they all have a monster on them.
That's dope.
It's fucking a great idea. Totally could never happen anymore due to the fact that everything's going digital.
Right.
But like, what a fucking awesome, weird thing.
It's almost like those scanners.
Yeah, it was. That? Yeah, yes, it was exactly like that. Because I remember when those came out, I was like, it's like Monster Rancher. And they're like, what? I'm like, okay, I guess I'm the weirdo. But yeah, it's the same idea. Where like, it just, everything has a monster in it.
That's dope.
And you put the disc in. And like, in canon, you find like a giant stone slab disc. And you put it in this thing, and then a monster comes out of it. There was an anime back on like Kids WB, like a couple years, like, you know, like a decade ago at this point. And it was really fucking fun to watch. But like, the actual game was so cool.
Yeah.
Because like, I remember I can't remember how specifically it worked, because I did with my cousins, and like we both had copies of Return of the King.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if they had different monsters or if it was like per movie. They had I can't remember how that worked, but it was fucking awesome. I watched a guy play an emulator of it, and he would you could load ROMs as the disc.
Oh, really?
So that might be the way I get around to actually playing this game but it was really cool.
The question is, did they like explicitly assign this monster to this thing, or could you just put in any CD and it would work?
You can put anything.
Okay.
Anything worked.
Like even post-release?
Yeah.
Any CD?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We were playing a PS2 game. We were putting in fucking Return of the King and shit. Like,
okay.
It was as long as the machine can read it. So you put a Blu-ray in there probably.
Yeah.
But you could put...
And it's just like randomized of which
I guess. I mean, they were consistent.
Okay.
So the disc you put in was that monster. So there's something in disc code that it read and then assigned something to it. I don't know exactly how it works. But like you could put in, so like you put in Return of the King and you got blank.
Damn.
And it was like fucking so cool. I don't even know how you fucking like min-max it. I don't know if there's like go find this copy of fucking Deuce Bigelow and you can get this monster. I don't fucking know. I don't know how it works, but
I would love that so much.
It was a really cool idea.
You have to buy like this obscure Japanese import of this. Like, oh my god.
It was fucking really cool.
That'd be really funny.
It was a really cool idea, and I wish they would remake it, but I don't know how. I don't know how you do it.
How the fuck they would do that? Shoot, that's a good question.
I don't even know if fucking PS4s can even read CDs.
That's a good question.
Because you used to be able to use PS1s and PS2s as like media players,
right?
So that's why that worked, because it was designed. Those were in the code.
I never tried it.
I haven't either.
Used a CD because I have CDs. I just have never tried it on the PS4. I never thought about it.
Yeah, I never did either.
Shoot.
Because they have like Spotify and shit on.
Right,
PS4.
exactly.
There's no reason
you have
to do
no
it.
reason to do it, but I have no. Damn, I gotta try when I get home. Shoot.
It's cute. It's a cute game.
But I do love that idea. I missed the scanners like bandwagon, but like I just thought it was the coolest fucking thing.
I did too. I never got one, but all my friends had them, and I had a Mario folder that gave some fucking crazy monster, and everyone in class wanted it. And I was like, "It's right, bitches." A Mario folder. But another kid had a Mario folder, and he got a different monster out of his. So that one was always different.
Damn.
Something with the barcodes or whatever, but
whatever. It's still dope though.
It was super cool.
Shit. I also, on the same topic, bringing back Angelina. Actually, we have come to the conclusion together. You may agree or disagree. Doesn't matter because I know I'm right. That the entirety of human existence has peaked, and it peaked in 2006.
Interesting.
Just think about it. That's all. You don't have to argue it. Just sleep on it.
May I hear your argument?
Okay. This is not necessarily to say that nothing great has come before or after it. Because obviously with inherently you can have a peak, you can still have good things even while going downhill. Okay. Hypothetically.
But why specifically 2006?
Because 2007 is when the iPhone was released.
Okay.
The Wii came out.
Yep.
I want to say, no, what was it? What was it? The Big Bang Theory came out.
Oh, okay.
And this is the common root of like the casualization of all things.
Humanity?
The fall of humanity. The casualization of video games has led to the fall of humanity directly. That is my theory.
Interesting. So you wouldn't say
almost completely baseless, but
yeah, because I would say like the Switch seems to be turning that around.
Man, I don't know how I feel about the Switch, man.
Really? I can't wait.
Well, it's mostly a value argument, I guess. Just because, okay, I want Nintendo to make another GameCube with modern specs, or not make hardware at all and just make games and then sell them third party. That's the smartest business decision they can do. They're losing money like left and right.
That's what Xbox is doing.
Yeah.
They're going to just make games. They have their system, but there's a potential that PS4 gets Xbox hands on them.
Yeah. Like, even PS4, they are losing money every console they make because the hardware they put in them is much greater than like a regular console would have made 10 years ago.
Right.
And so they lose money because they know that they can make it back with games. With Nintendo, like, they are losing money left and right, to make these consoles, but the consoles also aren't worth it. Because like PS4, for example, has a much better processor, and it's a better like hardware system than a Switch would be. And so the price is justified. Like as in the production costs are justified.
Right, okay.
Even though you're losing money. But you're losing even more money for the Switch because it's specs-wise, it's a worse thing, and so the value that you're losing isn't quite worth it. Long and short of it is that it's a better business decision for Nintendo to just say, we're going to make games and sell them third party so that, A, you don't lose all this money on creating new hardware, because not only is it new hardware, it's also completely different because you're talking about a portable console, or it's a Switch, right? So it has the two different modes. No one's done that before.
Right.
Pretty much. So they're putting all this money into R&D that they don't really need to do. So they're trying to make all these gimmicky things.
Yeah.
Right? And so if they just skip all of that, I know it's against their principles and whatever, but who cares about that shit? But if they skipped all that and just sold their games on like PS4 and Xbox, they could make a shitload of money.
Interesting. It's interesting.
Because they make good games. Yeah. I will not deny that.
Right.
Nintendo makes great games, but they should only make games because they don't like their hardware. Unless it's a GameCube 2.0.
So it's hard to say because I've only barely used a Switch, and I played 1-2 Switch, which is a fucking tech demo, so who cares? But from what it looks like, is that the Switch is closer to a GameCube 2.0. The GameCube sold dog shit numbers.
Oh yeah, I know.
No one wanted the GameCube. Now people love it, but
right, they have no reason financially to think that they should make a GameCube 2.0. So I understand that, but long term, I think it's better because, like the Wii, for example, like it already feels outdated. Like the motion controls, are like a thing of the past now. It was a fad.
Oh yeah.
So, but a GameCube or like an NES, even like a controller is a timeless thing that will never be not useful.
Yeah, I agree.
So I get, on one hand, you still have like their whole philosophy of like, oh, we have to innovate and do whatever, but like. So
for where I'm sitting, I think the Switch is a brilliant idea because it is closer to going back to a just console thing. You know, that there's a gimmick to it.
Right.
But that gimmick is fucking awesome. Have you? I don't know if you don't have a Vita, you've never done this, but you can cross-bot, like I was saying with the PS4 Digimon game. That's cross-save. I can do the Switch thing if I owned the second version, the Vita version of Digimon, and I can just load my save and walk out of the house.
Right.
And that's fucking awesome. I did it once with Final Fantasy X. Like I was playing on the PS4. I was borrowing my friend's copy of the Vita version. I was going to get on a plane, download my save, got on the plane, and just kept going. And it was so cool to just keep going. And like I didn't have to stop. I didn't have to. It was so cool. And then just came home, re-downloaded it, fucking finished the game at home. It was such a cool thing. And but it takes a few extra steps. It requires an entirely separate game purchase, which kind of sucks.
That does suck.
And luckily I just had that, borrowed. And then you have to go into the cloud. You have to load your save on the cloud, then go into your Vita, download the save from the cloud, and then start and go. Yeah. With the Switch, you just leave.
Right.
Which goes all in one thing. So for me personally, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And like, again, I play every Pokemon game that comes out, so I'm definitely getting one anyway for that.
Yeah.
And Breath of the Wild seems interesting.
Yeah. I did play a little bit of Breath of the Wild because Zach has one. That was fun. The problem, like, I did enjoy it, and I like Breath of the Wild, but I'm not going to drop $300 on a console to play it.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
I guess it's true. I don't know. I tend to do that. I tend to buy consoles based on one game.
Like, I
Breath of the Wild is not that game, but yeah.
Right. Oh, shit, what was I going to say? What I guess I'm also personally biased because I rarely ever have an excuse, I guess, to play a handheld game.
Okay.
Because if I'm ever out of my house, I'm driving.
Right.
So I can't play handheld. If I was like, taking the bus every day to go to work or whatever it was,
right,
then that would make a little bit more sense. Or like I'm frequently like on airplanes or whatever. That would be fine. I get that. But personally, I have no reason to do it. So what I'd rather have is like a dedicated like at-home console.
I get that.
But that's more powerful.
Okay.
Like rather than...
What does the power add though?
terms of frame rate, graphics, things like that.
Okay, so but if you're playing a game that is stylized more simply, and doesn't need to hit, doesn't require something that's powerful, it doesn't so it can hit the frame rate you want. Like what part of the specs matters most? Like for me personally, frame rate. I totally agree.
Yeah, frame rate. Yeah.
Like Pokemon doesn't hit frame rate. It lags like crazy. It's bad. Like fucking hatching an egg, you just watch it fucking stutter, choke up. The fucking ending double battle is a nightmare, which is crazy because it's the fucking main competitive mode. But like, it's turn-based, so who gives a shit? You just watch it fucking chug along real quick and you move on.
I have no problem if it's not graphically intense, but like I said before, the aesthetics, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it looks aesthetically fine and it's running at a fast frame rate, that's all I care about.
Right.
So if it can do that, then no problem. But, yeah.
I exclusively just want frame rate. As long as the fucking thing runs, that's great. Like I'm playing Destiny 2, that shit crashes all the time. It's a fucking nightmare. I don't know why. I think it's partially due to my hardware, but I also don't know because it's fucking like, there's just bugs everywhere. It's all a mess from top to bottom, so who knows. So like that shit's like, if it could just work, that'd be great, which is why I do enjoy console gaming from time to time, where it's like I put the thing in, I hit go, and there's not a fucking worry in the world. It just happens.
I keep coming back to that. Like every time I think about building a PC, I'm just like, this is so much easier. Like that, and that's the reason there are people who are always like, why don't people just build PCs? Like whatever. It's so cheap and you can do XYZ and you can get 144 frames per second. Like the simple fact is a console is literally just you plug it in, you put the disc in and you're good to go. And that's it. No worries. You don't have to order parts. Like,
oh no, it's I mean, sure.
That's what
I'm not gonna say not knowing how to put a computer together is a good skill. Everyone should at least have a basic idea of that. I think it's pretty helpful. But yeah, it's a fucking nightmare. I had to replace my motherboard and my CPU recently when my computer died. The fucking avalanche of problems that come after that is obnoxious. I'm still trying to figure out, is it my CPU fan is not fast enough and it's overheating that makes Destiny crash? Is Destiny running too hot? Is it on Destiny's end or is it on my end? When I put the new motherboard in, I had to call Microsoft and have my Windows reinstated. Because apparently switching your motherboard turns your Windows off, which is weird.
What?
Which, it seems like
Microsoft.
It doesn't make any. I don't know why the motherboard was the specific cause of it, but it was for some reason. So like, there's just constant things where like, I've had it for like 2 weeks, but I'm still fucking combing out bugs. I'm still working on stuff, trying to find how I can make things work, make sure everything's back to where it was. It's been weird, So like, I can understand if someone's like, you know what? Just having to deal with a 30-minute phone call to Microsoft just to reinstate my Windows, I think I'll pass and just continue playing fucking Xbox.
Yeah.
Totally get that, because it is a bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Tech support in general is fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's awful,
Jesus Christ.
It's, and the problem is, for me, is like, that's the sacrifice I get for wanting a mouse and keyboard. Like, I can play Destiny fucking anywhere I wanted, Could play it on PS4, who cares?
Yeah.
But I prefer to aim things with a mouse and keyboard, so I'm going to sit there with a mouse. I will put up with the tons of issues this has been causing me in my computer. It's fucking, it might kill my computer. Who knows? It might be running too hot. I don't know. So it's like, that is one other thing that kind of sucks, where it's like, oh, well, this control scheme I prefer requires me to do, go through this fucking headache. So PC gaming is a blessing and a curse. It can be
definitely. Everything has its pros and cons.
Yeah,
it's like I grew up with consoles more so than PC games, and so I'm so used to doing everything with a controller that like even FPSs, which are inherently better with mouse and keyboard, like I still feel myself feeling like still uncomfortable with it.
No,
like even like Counter-Strike, for example, right? Like I don't even think you have the option to play with a controller.
I don't believe you do,
but
you wouldn't want to,
right? But like, I don't know. Part of me still feels like this would be easier. It's probably not, but like,
so it would definitely be. I've noticed this.
At least be more comfortable.
Right. I've been playing more Counter-Strike and trying to get people into it, and mouse and keyboard is not intuitive.
Yeah.
It feels that way to me because I've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
But it is not. I'm watching people just fucking like rainbow bullets over someone because they're not used to it. It's a weird thing of muscle. When I first switched my mouse to a lower DPI and which is dots per inch, and lower sensitivity, I was pulling muscles in my back because my back, there were muscles in my body that weren't used to doing this. I've been playing fucking FPSs on my computer for years now.
Yeah.
But my body wasn't ready for that because I was requiring more muscles and stuff like it. It's a weird thing. It's like, so pulling people in and they're like, like, oh yeah, I play PC games, and they're just fucking missing shots left and right. They're just doing weird things. They're spinning around when they don't need to because they're just like their sensitivity's too high. They're not comfortable with X, Y, and Z. So yeah, a controller is just more intuitive. You know, it just makes more sense naturally. You know, and so and like yeah, it does suck with like FPSs because I do occasionally will go somewhere and someone's playing a console FPS and I watch them swing their shot too far. They don't snap on the target. They start their shot here, they shoot, and then they end their shat a few feet to the right, and then it's like, oh, okay, now you're dead because they got the jump on you after that. You know, so like I can see that like people who aren't comfortable with that, they you know, that shit gets difficult. But for most things, I totally agree with you. It's way more intuitive. It makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Also, just the like keyboards being on and off. Every button is not like you can't walk with like pushing the directional. You know, I can't hold W down a little less to walk in a game. You push W, you run forward. You let go of W, you stop. Yeah, they're all on off switches. Every button. Right. So it's not like like fucking Metal Gear was using the pressure sensitive buttons back in Metal Gear 2. Metal Gear 1 you might have had something like that. It was Metal Gear 1. So like controllers they've limited buttons, but there are vastly different things. You know, the intuitiveness of it's way different.
I actually didn't even know that Metal Gear 1 used pressure sensitivity. So that first time you have the gun with you, I think it was the scene with Meryl. When Meryl pops out in the first part where you just come out of the what's his face? The dude has a heart attack. Spoilers.
Oh, the DARPA chief.
Yeah, the DARPA chief. You like come out of his room, and then there's like 3 guys that come at you, and you're supposed to shoot him, and Meryl's there. And I think I was like, I'm hitting a square. What's wrong with it? And I was like, oh, you have to press it all the way. Okay. But,
yeah, that's actually Decoy Octopus.
Right.
Fucking love this story.
I know. My God, fucking Metal Gear.
It doesn't fucking tell you that ever, I don't think. I forget where I found. Does it tell you at the very end that he was Decoy Octopus?
I don't remember.
Did I read that later? I forget.
Yeah, I don't even fucking know, man. Metal Gear lore.
It's not very clear. They don't tell you things very, very quickly. It's a bit of a nightmare. But
if you want to talk about lore, how are you with Warhammer 40K?
I have not touched that. No, not coming near it. I love it. I love the fact that it exists. Yeah. But oh my God, Warhammer's crazy.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. Like all of my best friend loves it. Like he's super into it. Like he knows not all of it, but like a lot of the lore, and like he plays the tabletop. And like even just hearing him like gush about it, I'm just like, this is the coolest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Like Warhammer 40K is the coolest lore, like hands down.
It's so cool.
Like it's cool as fuck. Like I have no idea where to start, and I don't want to make the investment of the tabletop game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's literally just like you're dropping $5,000.
It's so cool though.
I know it's
so cool. Watching people like I was watching some video. It was some convention for Warhammer 40K.
Yeah.
And they had a display out for like, I think you could buy this. And it was a fucking table twice the size of my bed of like this gigantic field, and it led to this huge old building that was all broken down. It was a big castle, and it was like, it was so beautiful.
It's cool as fuck.
Cool as fuck. It's
so cool. Like, I hate it. Every time we hang out with him, his name's James. Every time I hang out with James, he's all like, Pete, you got to join me, man. You got to do this. I'm like, you talk about Warhammer, and then like every single time you mention it, you're just like, oh man, I dropped $70 on this thing, but it's really cool. And like,
where does he play it?
I get it, but he just plays with it. Some of our friends.
Oh, okay.
I'll have it. So it's not like he goes to like a hobby shop or something.
Okay, yeah, because that's another thing too. Is I can't only imagine like.
Yeah,
the space you need to play that.
Right. A, you need the space. B, you need the people.
Yeah.
Because like if you don't have like a solid group of like 5 other people who constantly play it, then like it's useless and it's a stupid investment.
I had talked to one of the I worked some retail job, and one of my coworkers had worked at a game shop, and she was like, do you know what the best thing was? And I was like, no. She goes, Warhammer 40K.
Yeah.
If you dedicate that, fucking they come for miles, because you have a space that's big enough to play this game that that fucking niche weirdos want to play. They're like,
they'll drive 50 miles to go play Warhammer.
Let's go play. And it was like, oh, it makes sense. Like, you're selling the pieces for fuckloads of money.
Yep.
You fucking need you basically create this little fucking hub where these crazy people can come together and play their crazy hobby.
Yep.
It's like, why would you not give that to them? Like, that makes so much sense. Like, a lot of these fucking, hobby shops and comic shops out, they don't necessarily have that stuff because, like, you might be able to pull more people for a D&D or a Magic, but Fuck.
But you'll pull the real money in with Warhammer.
Yeah, you get this fucking... You set up a back room for Warhammer players? Oh, boy. They're coming.
My favorite thing is the place that James plays at is one of his friends just has like this dedicated space pretty much where he just has a room in his house where it's just like he has the, has the table, like everything's measured out. There's like a standard, like professional, whatever, because everything is done with rulers, right? Yeah, like everything is done in inches. And so, like, the table has to be 6 foot by 6 foot or whatever it is. I can't remember. But, so there's everything laid out. And, like, he makes all the set pieces. So, like, the buildings and the rubble and all that. And he just hand makes everything.
That's
so
sick.
He has, like, all these, like, little random pieces of trash and he'll, like, put it together in paper mache and whatever. And he'll just make it look like this, like, realistic war environment. And it's just on this huge table and all the pieces are there. Everything... All the miniatures are miniatures. And they all have to be like individually painted, and they have like 3 layers, and they have
so cool.
It's nuts.
It's so cool. I don't know if I want to put my time into that though.
Exactly. Like that's what I keep coming back to. It's just like I'm not gonna drop $5,000 to buy an army, and B, like I'm terrible at painting. And by A I mean C. And then it's just I don't know. It's a lot.
I would probably watch people play it.
Like that. Like watching is fun.
People who watch people play video games. Right. I totally am in the camp of I'm just gonna watch. Oh my god,
we went full circle. No. That's kind of different though, because I mean,
if you think about it, the fucking like if someone came in and watched me play something on my computer, like I put a bunch of money in my computer, I fucking went through all this fucking nits work.
God damn it, you're right. Fuck.
Like it's similar.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It's just easier just to watch.
You're true. You're right.
Should we wrap up on that? Do you have any more you'd like to say?
I don't know. What else do I want to talk about?
You tell me. I'm here for you.
How did you make your logo?
I drew it myself.
But how? Like, do you have like a drawing tool? Oh, that thing. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I did that, and then I pirated Sai, which is I believe, Japanese manufactured software. But it's super easy to pirate, and
nice.
I think they almost encourage it.
It's like WinRAR.
Yeah, it's like practically like when I was going through the process, they were like, I remember seeing stuff where I'm like, why are you even selling this?
Right.
Like this is like what?
You make it so easy to pirate.
Yeah. So it was weird. It was like a weird thing, but yeah, I just use that. And it's basically like it's just like it's like MS Paint for people who know more than they need for MS Paint. It's like a couple steps above.
Nice.
And I just drew it. It's a couple different layers, and then just stacked them on top of each other.
I'm actually trying to make a video game myself.
Oh, really?
And
it's tough cookies.
It's tough cookies, right? And so I got a little bit in, and like I bought Game Maker, the whole 9 yards. I was trying to work with it. I think I tried out the Unity demo as well, or a couple different engines. And then it was like, okay, I can get this. Like, if I put in 50 hours, I can like get all the basics and like whatever. Or I could just hire people to do it for me.
Right, yeah.
So I literally just hired an artist and a programmer.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. I mean, we're like, I told them it's like royalty based. So
okay.
Pretty much my way of getting out of just paying them up front.
No shit.
So they're going to get like 40% each of the final cut.
No shit.
So,
wow. So what, you're just the ideas guy?
Yeah, I'm literally the ideas guy.
Fantastic.
I'm literally the ideas guy.
Wow.
And it's great.
That's pretty fucking sick.
No, I'm
How'd you even find these people?
Reddit.
Nice.
Reddit. I think there's a subreddit for game dev classifieds. And it's literally just like, hi, I'm an ideas guy. Please make my game for me and I'll pay you. And then they did. Here we are.
No shit.
Yeah.
So what's your ETA?
God fucking no. Probably.
How complicated is it?
Well, the concept is Persona without the JRPG.
So just a VN?
Yes.
Adorable.
Yeah. But college setting, modern college setting, and you play through all 4 years of college.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So it's a little bit of...
Are you writing this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm doing all the writing, I'm doing all the music.
Okay, cool.
And
so you're an asset. You're a very important asset. Okay.
Your character design and game design, writing, characters, music.
Nice.
And probably all the marketing for it, I guess, as well.
Right.
Might as well put that.
Is that what you went to school for, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, so might as well, right?
Yeah. So
that's really cool. I didn't know you could just do that. I didn't know you could just be like, I mean, I guess once you put it in my head, I'm like, that makes perfect sense.
Right.
Like, what is the internet for besides just being like
something like clicked with me, and I'm just like, wait, why don't I pay someone else to do this for me? So yeah, that was fun. And they're cool. But by complete coincidence, both of them happen to be from the UK and also female and also 23.
Oh, weird.
So that
super weird.
Totally bizarre, but yeah.
Same person. Never seen them in the same room, have you?
They're secret. They're secretly the same person. I'd not be surprised. But
they're getting 80% if they do that.
Yeah, seriously.
That's some good scheming right there.
Right. So yeah, that was pretty much my thing. Like, I mean, I only have, $6,000 in my name, like, and that's just for me.
Right. Yeah.
Like I think I paid them a little bit up front. I think I gave them like $100 each or something, just to here's my.
I'm not full of shit.
I'm not full of shit.
Yeah.
Like, please. What's the word? I think it's a C word.
Cunt.
Oh, that one. Collateral. That's what it is. As my collateral, just be like, hey, I'm not full of shit. I'm not. I'm trying to do this.
How far along are you on your part?
We're getting there.
How often do you put work into this?
We're just doing it in our free time.
Okay.
So it's not like a full time or whatever.
Right.
Like I literally just told them have some minor progress done in like a week, and I'll be happy.
I guess my next question is how recent has this started?
Like a month ago.
Okay.
Maybe 2.
So you're just doing like a monthly thing where you meet up and go, here's what we got?
Yeah, we're trying to do like a weekly meeting and just be like, hey, and like set like small goals for ourselves.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
One of them is like still in college.
Okay.
And so, and then obviously I'm doing this royalty base, so I don't want to be like, all right, guys, let's go. Come on. Spend 3 hours a day on this. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be like,
sense.
Do like an hour or 2 a week in your spare time.
Right.
And then I'll be happy. Because I don't want to push these people. They're already doing a lot for me.
Right, yeah.
So, I'd be fucking nowhere without them.
Right, no, I totally get that. That makes sense.
So, what we're trying to do is like, have a weekly meeting, like set a small goal for yourself, and then we'll discuss it. That way we like, it's like a motivation, I guess.
That's super good. Because, I feel like that's everyone's first fault is they go,
goal setting is tough.
Right, you're like, oh, we'll fucking just get it done. Let's do it.
Right,
and then you're like, holy shit, this is so much work. So
yeah, because like at first we had the idea, it was like the artist was like, I want to have all the character portraits done by December. I was like, okay, but how are you going to pace yourself? Like you can't,
right? Yeah,
you can't just be like, oh, it's November 23rd and I have nothing done. Yeah. Right. So hopefully that'll help cure that.
Well, that's fucking, look at you.
So we have like
that's a fantastic management right there.
Very basic coding done, and some of the concept art done.
Nice.
The person that I have for the artist is like pretty much exclusively does character art.
Okay.
And so she has,
which is perfect for a game like this.
Which is perfect. So like at this point, it's just going to be actually kind of similar to Persona 5 in the way that it's like the character portrait on the side of the screen, and you have like the text box.
Yeah.
Just for dialogue. But I think it's going to be like a top-down, almost like Pokemon.
Okay.
But with different aesthetic a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to say? But, yeah, so she doesn't have any experience in backgrounds. So it's a complete toss-up as to whether or not the backgrounds are going to look good. So we'll find out. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a different thing, because a lot of, that's far more geometric.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. That could be,
so we'll see how that goes. If not, I guess we'll have to hire someone else.
I mean, technically, too, I guess you could do, if it's a college setting, you only need X amount of places.
Yeah.
You just can recolor them, if even that.
Yeah. Because I think...
Because that's not important.
The way we have it now, it's like 6 or 7 buildings, maybe.
Okay.
And like, that's it.
Yeah.
The idea is that it's very like character development focused.
Right, yeah. So like a lot of buildings would generally, a lot of classrooms are going to look the same. A dorm room is probably going to look generally the same. Maybe change it per character, something, if you even go into a dorm room, whatever,
Right, yeah.
So you don't really need to, excuse me, you don't really need to fucking like go crazy. You're not doing a fantasy thing where every environment needs to look unique. You just, you're at college. Colleges all look the same.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. That's definitely a good place to set it for something that you're starting out like.
Yeah.
It's smart. What's your goals in terms of sales then? If you're going for royalties,
sales.
like are you going for Steam? Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
The plan at this point is just put it on Steam, and then the idea. Okay, well, if it's like Greenlight, for example, right? Games that are very clearly like poor quality just never get greenlit.
Right. Yeah.
But I feel like if you can clearly tell, like, okay, people spent time on this, and it's like a legitimate thing, like it's not just like alpha shovelware,
right? Yeah.
then people will still greenlight it.
Right. Okay.
So I don't see any roadblocks there. Maybe like the PlayStation Network or something where you can digitally download.
Right. I mean, they fucking put what the fuck's that called? The Tiger game.
Oh yeah, the Black Tiger.
Black Tiger. Yeah. I mean, if that fucking World of Black Tiger, if that shit's on there, fucking you can get anything on there.
I know. So hopefully that'll work, but I shouldn't see a problem with Steam. In terms of sales, like, I'd be happy if fucking 100 people bought it.
Right.
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
For pricing, I just imagine it'd be like $10.
Right.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because like what Stardew Valley is like 15. That's probably the closest thing it's related to.
Right. Okay.
At this point, because it's like 2D. It's not pixelated. It's more cartoony aesthetic, I guess. But that's probably the closest in similarity in terms of gameplay and game design.
Okay.
And that's like what, $15 usually?
I think I've never purchased it, but yeah, I think you're right.
I was thinking like $10, maybe even $7.50, something like that. But like, even if it's $10 times 500,
right?
You know, that's $5,000 right there.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And so that's, you know.
Would you do any marketing?
Yeah, a little bit.
What would you do for that? Just like.
What would I do?
Yeah, what would you do? How does that work?
I mean,
that seems like an interesting thing. Would you just like do like a Reddit thing or?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess it's kind of down the road. I didn't really think about it too much. I feel like it's kind of an Uncharted thing because, whereas, you know, Sony can just go out there and like pay $3 million and put your ad on TV.
Right. Yeah.
You have to make it yourself, and you have to find a platform online somewhere because it's going to be online.
Right. Of course.
Because that's the only free advertising platform.
Also, that's where shit's going.
That's where shit's going.
Direction. Yeah, that makes no sense.
So. Pretty much just all going to be online. I don't know where the fuck I'm going to do it, though. We're going to have to see. I don't know.
Because, yeah, I would be curious to see how you do. Because it seems like a lot of these, like, indie games, they take off by word of mouth. It's not
exactly.
So I'm wondering how you... So if there's a workaround for that.
Right. So I feel like... I'm trying to think of a good example.
Because, like, Undertale is all people just talking about it.
Right. But they had...
That game's
the platform of... You say terrible?
It's terrible.
Really? Didn't like it?
I'm not a big fan.
I didn't play it.
It's like, whatever. It's for a very specific type of person.
Yeah.
And it just never resonated with me. I didn't like, and the characters didn't speak to me in any way. The gameplay, I don't have any attachment to like Earthbound type games. So like that style of like whatever, it's, you know, it's a very specific group of people that's gonna fucking hit 100 out of 100 with. I'm not.
Yeah, I feel
that.
I never played it.
It's not terrible. I'm being dramatic, but like it's not for me. It's not a bad. It's for what it is. It does everything right. It's just not my cup of tea.
I feel that.
Well, that's really cool that you're actually doing that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, because I mean, doing that, I'm trying to finally record an album for just my music.
That's dope too.
So I'm trying to work out how I'm going to do that. I'm fun employed as of recent.
Fun employed?
Fun employed.
It's awesome.
So I have all this free time now.
Perfect.
And so I'm trying to like, you know,
so that's awesome.
finally go into all my little side projects that I've been doing.
Take the time to just, even if you just get everything off the ground, and then once you get a job, you can just fucking.
Right. Because like at this point, getting a job is just going to just be the funding stream.
Right. So yeah, maybe this will help you. This is my mentality with a lot of like work now is when I come home, that is my actual time. And so when I'm at work, that is what most people do when they come home and they veg out for 8 hours.
Yeah.
So I just do my mindless job at work. I just listen to podcasts and do mindless shit. And then I come home and I work on anything that actually matters. So like,
don't expend the brain energy.
Don't expend any energy at work.
Yeah.
And then you come home and you actually can do things, you know? So
I get that.
Find a low stress job that is just brainless.
That's the goal.
Yeah. And then you just do that. Like I'm probably going to, like my job is simple right now, but there is a bit of stress to it. And I'm like, fuck, if I can just find something even simpler than this, just something that I can pay the one major bill I got, which is the school loan, and then just fucking just coast from there, then it's fine. I can go home and do whatever I need to do.
It's like I used to have 2 jobs at one point. I think it was sophomore year of college. Mm-hmm. It was over the summer. And I was just like, all right, I'm going to need to make money for school eventually. So I'm just going to get this out of the way. and I had the retail job at night from like 4 to 10, and then 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. was I worked at a fucking factory.
Oh wow.
It was a t-shirt factory.
Wow.
Like where they do, you know how like Redbubble or whatever,
Yeah.
you can have like these mass orders of custom t-shirts, and so
Right. Yeah.
there's this big old factory in South Glens Falls actually, where like you have these machines that you put in a screen.
Yeah.
And then all the colors and the ink and everything, and then it'll press it on, whatever. So I have this big old circular machine that would come around, and on each individual little pallet would have a just freshly pressed shirt. My job was take the shirt off the thing, fold it, and put it on the drying conveyor belt next to me.
Oh, weird.
5,000 times a day.
Wow.
8 hours a day. It was just fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It was like the most mindless job in existence.
Could you do anything else?
No.
They wouldn't let you listen to anything or anything like that?
I mean, they had like music on the radio, but
You couldn't have headphones in?
I don't think so.
That sucks.
But like everyone around me was just a dick to boot.
Right. Well, if you're doing something like that mindless, then yeah, I can see that being like fucking real miserable if you do it
So
for a long time.
it's a balance.
Yeah, you definitely have to find that balance of like, let me just do mindless nonsense and then just fucking, just.
So ideally, I got an interview in a couple days, but hopefully that's something good.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Thanks.
Well, that's cool if you're actually doing a bunch of cool fucking side shit.
So if it pays off, then I'm good to go.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
don't want to like, commit to some big corporate job and then like be committed to that and then never have time for anything. So
Would that be even what you want to do though?
Yeah,
ultimately,
no.
yeah. So
So
why bother?
why bother?
Yeah, because like that's where I'm kind of at right now, where it's like I did all the stuff people told me to do. You go to college, you get the degree, you get the job, the desk job, and you sit there and you're like, I didn't want any of this.
Right.
I just did what I was told.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna do what I want now, and so like trying to re-find my footing, and then going from there has been. It seems to be all right. So
good.
But yeah. All right. So let's end on this happy note.
Okay.
All right. So thanks for coming. Do you want to plug anything?
I guess my game when it comes out in 2020 at this fucking rate. We haven't even decided on a name yet. That's the worst part. The working title is The Next Chapter.
Cute.
I thought it was cute, right?
Yeah.
But I guess that.
Plug your music. Is there a place where people can find your shit?
Oh yeah. So I have a SoundCloud and Bandcamp pages. We do have a YouTube channel, but like it's bad. Basement Vacation. That's me, and it's a combination of my own original music, and it's also a couple of my friends that occasionally do it with me.
Nice.
So like, it's kind of a weird setup. It's like me and 3 friends. 2 of them are in Portland right now. One of them is my roommate now, but he's the bass player.
Mm.
But the songwriters are me and then the other 2 in Portland. And so we can't really like communicate very well since we're that far away. But in terms of like what's actually on the like the SoundCloud and the Bandcamp stuff is all like my stuff, and then occasionally one of the other guys will just like put something on there that's his own. But it's like this weird combination of all 4 of us doing shit together.
Nice.
But the majority of it is just stuff that I wrote, and hopefully it'll be professionally recorded in the near future. Fingers crossed.
Fucking awesome.
And I'll be able to do that.
All right, cool. So what was it again? What was the name for that?
Basement Vacation.
Basement
I
Vacation.
think it's very fitting
Yeah,
for my personality.
Yeah. Yeah, you gave me all that. Send me all that stuff. I'll put it in the description. All this stuff.
Word.
People
All right.
can find your shit. But
is
is there anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. Thanks a lot, man.
Oh wait, no. Employers. I'm plugging myself. Employers at me.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for coming, man. This is nice. Enjoy talking. It's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute.
So yeah, definitely glad you stopped by. We fucking
Same.
just fucking talk about nonsense that doesn't actually matter, but we're gonna definitely act like it does.
What a comfy drive. Oh my God. This is like probably the best Sunday comfy drive. Oh my God.
Do you come like down the?
Yeah, I stopped. I exit 13N.
Yes.
And like through Boston Spa.
Okay.
Like all these fucking back roads.
Yeah.
But, it's so pretty.
I know exactly. Where
I am a
you're coming
loose whore for like fall foliage and like Adirondack shit. Oh my God.
from. That's all that drive. Yeah.
That's a good time.
Well, it's that. We'll end. So thanks again.
Welcome.
And,
Thank you.
So
It's
with
been
that,
real.
love and kisses.